and welcome to Strength Hammer, episode 131. That's right. That's right. We're getting there. How's everybody doing today? Mostly Alex, because you're the only one that can respond. But if you're listening, let me know in the comments how you're
Woo!
doing today.
I'm well. I'm well too.
Mm, it's
New
good.
Cathay looked awesome.
Yeah, I don't have the Ronnie Coleman picture up anymore, but what I do
Yeah.
have is this nice little meme of the old world players looking down on AOS reveals at Adeptiocn from our mighty Cathay balloon.
Oh my goodness. Old World won so hard on the reveal this weekend.
Yeah, I would say Old World definitely won. There's no doubt about that as far as like big things.
Yeah.
40K got some good stuff.
40K was cool.
Yeah, and then Sigmar. I mean the fun things were buried. You know what I mean? Like the GHB, how they're gonna do articles with rules and stuff like that. You had to really reach for it. And to be fair, I
Yeah.
think a lot of that probably was on the articles and maybe not fully talked about at the reveal show.
Mm, maybe.
I don't know. As you can tell, everybody, or if you like follow our stories, you know Alex and I aren't at Adepticon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure everyone out there's having a good time not listening to this podcast, and hopefully they listen to it on their travels home.
Yeah, it's really been fun to even today, and I'm sure over the weekend it will be just looking at pictures and stories people post. I'm like, I'm sure you had messages people asking you like, "Hey, where are you at Adepticon?" And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"I'm not there."
Yes, I'm not there. Although I'll get some fun because one of the responsibilities I have
Hmm.
as someone who does stuff for the U.S. events teams for Games Workshop is I'll be helping moderate the stream in the evenings. Um, so unfortunately, it's just 40K being shown. So whew.
That's fun. Yeah, it's a fun job.
It's
Are you gonna do a hobby while you do it?
yeah. It's I can't like I'm not one of those like so Notley who does most of the moderation on that chat is just a gem.
Mhm.
He interacts, he enjoy like he's deep in there, and I'm just sitting there like, hey, you guys don't be super racist, all right?
Right,
That's
right.
yeah, like that's it. Don't be annoying. If you're not doing that, and I just sit there quietly mostly. Like
That's
I'll
fair.
answer a few questions here. Not these like boom 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 boom. I'm like it's the one place I get very introverted. And I'm just watching the chat mostly.
Yeah, just keeping it safe. That's your job.
Yep, that's it. I keep it very simple.
Yep.
Well, but with that out of the way, Alex, how's your lawn doing?
My lawn, yeah. I feel like every time I forget you're gonna ask me this question, I'm ready to talk about like our topic,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh wait, I gotta do lawn first."
Mm-hmm.
Lawn is great. Lawn is great. It's green looking. I actually just got a new my older American flag was getting older and like a
Yeah.
bit tattered, so I just got a new crisp, bright, colorful American flag.
Nice.
So it's looking beautiful, and grass is getting greener. So yeah, it's been nice to see.
It's very nice. I know. Uh, I just speaking of the American flag because I had like one of those like when we first move in, like you don't have tons of money, but I wanted the flag for like the flag days and stuff.
Mhm.
So I got like a little cheap one and like yeah. And I had a job and I was like I think it was like 4th of July weekend or something. I walked in to the hardware store and it was like $70.
Oh my
But it
goodness.
was
Yeah,
like, sewn, fully made in America. It's like good
good
quality
quality. Yeah,
material. Like all like the and yeah. So I'm like, okay, perfect.
yeah. I intentionally did not check where they made the American flags. I didn't want to disappoint them.
Yeah, I just like, you know what? If I spend $80 now, and I say I've been good for years, so
Yeah, right.
it's like anything. Be by quality, it will last probably longer.
Absolutely. Especially you. Well, I guess you can't really take care of it, but you can do some things.
Well, I mean, I put it outside when I want to put it outside, and I bring it back in when I want to bring it in.
Oh, you don't keep it outside all the time.
No, it's not an all the
I
time.
got you.
Yeah, because
Oh, it's gonna
it's
last you forever then.
yeah, it's I don't need to buy anymore. Like I said, unless
Yeah.
I leave it outside during a tornado. But if it's hurting that flag, I'm losing shingles, and I don't care about the flag anymore.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I have mine is right in the middle of my backyard.
Oh, that's right. You actually have a flagpole. Yeah, mine's
Hmm.
attached to the house, so it's a little
Right.
bit more protected. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so mine I probably have to change every 2 years, I'm guessing, because it's under the weather all the time.
I say I look forward to one day you just go out there and you just pull down the American flag. You just put it away, and you're just like just a huge flag of Arnold flexing.
I do have one,
Yeah, I know.
so I could actually I should maybe I could because on my flag I can do two flags on my pole.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do Arnold and American flag whenever you come down, and we can swing some maces and lift some Atlas stones.
Can't like we look up at him in his glory.
Yeah.
Make sure you didn't say it right. You got to do the American flag, then Arnold. The American
Yeah,
flag
yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You're right at the top. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
Arnold. Yeah, yeah.
people
That's
just
what I
look at
meant.
you like you're dumb. They want to be like, I don't feel offended. You're just like, what's going wrong with
He's not offensive. He's just stupid.
this? Don't worry, guys. He's just stupid. He's handsome and stupid. Um,
Oh, you can't say that. Can't say that.
only on Wednesdays.
Oh, only on Wednesdays. Okay, that's an inside joke.
That's a real inside joke.
You're welcome. You're welcome, listeners.
Yes, and watchers. We love them both. Here
Mm.
at Strength Hammer Podcast. But yeah, we'll tell you what, we're gonna touch briefly, everybody, because obviously it's Adepticon weekend. So the main topic's gonna be about the reveal show. Me and Neil are gonna get super hype about it. We'll touch a little bit here because we gotta let Alex, fly his old world nerd flag with us too. But first, we have a topic we've touched upon this before, but people traveling to Adepticon or any wargaming event or any gaming weekend. How do you maintain your fitness? What's some things you can do? And that's if you're being like, hey, I like Adepticon. That's 5 days. Like,
Yeah.
if it's 2 days for a weekend, like, and boom, you're in and out, spending one night, you can just ignore this. Like, you'll be fine skipping 2 days.
Right. Nothing will really happen. Enjoy that pizza. Don't worry about it.
But yeah.
Right.
Anytime though, I've gone to, Adepticon, Nova. Haven't been to an LVO yet, or like a U.S. Open. I always go to the gym a couple times, and I'm focusing on a few things because, that's a whole week, and it's like I'm not going to slide backwards too far, but I'd rather not slide backwards at all if I can help it. And I know you're
Right.
the same.
Absolutely. 100%. It is funny that actually, because I obviously for my main job work primarily with Warhammer nerds trying to get healthier and fitter.
Right.
So a lot of my clients, like one of our calls before Adepticon is always like, okay, so what's our plan for Adepticon? What are we doing? Is there a gym in the hotel you're staying at? What's your plan with nutrition?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a few of my clients are Adepticon right now, so I see them posting like going to the gym in the morning or doing something. So I'm like, yes, good.
Yeah,
Good.
it's awesome. Yeah, I saw Dr. Rhino post his gym. I think it was this morning, maybe it was last night. Yeah, I saw his for sure.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
know
it's actually really cool. Maybe I see it because I'm in the space of fitness and Warhammer, but it's been cool because I saw a bunch of people like Dave was doing some push-ups and some other
Yep.
wargamers were doing stuff. So I'm like,
Mickey was doing some push-ups. Yep.
yeah, it was cool to see.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's fun how that culture is fully infected nerd
Yeah,
culture. At least
absolutely.
for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Warhammer side of things. I guess not fully. It's within the niche circles that we play around. It's fully adapted and been taken
right.
on.
Well, the good news is there are big names who do it now, right?
Yes.
I mean, Mini Wargaming Dave and even Ben Mudge with more Warhammer,
Of
Deadlist for
course,
Dark Gods.
and Stephen Box, even though he keeps it kind of separate, it's very obvious that he's not going to shy away talking about
Yeah,
his fitness stuff.
Stephen Box, Major Kill,
Major
right?
kill,
So
yeah.
we have major names who are fit and healthy and promote that stuff. So it's in different ways. Some more
Right.
quietly, some loudly, like me and you. But it's been really cool to see. So
Yeah,
makes my nerd heart feel fuzzy and warm.
it does. It does. Whenever whenever I'm not sick of you guys stepping on my turf. No, I'm kidding. Oh boy, I gotta get that in there. Little sucker punch for you.
Okay.
What? I got to.
All right. So Chuck, what do you do? So how do you personally stay fit and healthy when you travel for bigger events like this?
I was trying to think. I was thinking back on this a little bit as it's kind of like we're figuring out the topic and such. I think it was the last year I was the TO at Nova for ageofsigmar.
Mhm.
I was very much wanting to like tackle my goals. I did not want to go backwards. Um, Now the good part about that is I had my own hotel room. I made sure it had a refrigerator, and it's only 3.5 hours away from me. I think maybe
That's not
4.
bad.
It's pretty close to us.
That's really not bad. Yeah.
So if it's feasible, and like I said, this is maybe more the most extreme one I've done it. I meal prepped at least
Oh
one
wow.
meal. Yeah.
Okay.
So every breakfast meal is technically just a protein bar and a coffee. Like that was just simple, very consistent, easy macros. But my lunch was meal prepped, and it was usually salad because I could buy a big thing of salad. Obviously, I
Nice.
had separate packets of dressing, so I had different flavors, easy to pack with. And then I did pre-cook some chicken.
Dang. Wow. You went
Yeah,
all out for
I
that.
did.
That's great.
Well, great. I was there, I think, for 5 days. I'm like, well, I don't know how long that's gonna last. So I did.
Also financially, and you're
Yeah,
TOing, so yeah, you
yeah.
want to be on top of it.
So I did three worth of chicken, and then I just had some tuna packets after that.
Good for you. That's awesome.
It was great, and like I said, it was just my lunch. Dinner, I allowed myself just I was gonna eat whatever. I was gonna be full. I was gonna have a good time.
Social too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But that I can't tell you how clear my mind was throughout that entire weekend,
Yeah, I
simply
bet.
because I was eating so clean. Like I said, and like I got to the gym once when I was there. I should have probably gone twice, but just keeping the food intake right was just like such a blessing. And like I said, and if you're close enough that you can drive with some stuff meal prepped, at least one meal, if not two, I'd say at
Mm-hmm.
least one. Like the lunch is probably the big one because like that's also when you have the least amount of time, whether you're TOing or gaming. Um, just run up, you can scarf it down real quick and be good to go. So that's just like one thing I've done in the past.
Yeah. I honestly have never actually meal prepped for an event before, so I might have to consider that. Maybe just bring some sandwiches and some like veggies. Simple enough.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, yeah, you could bring a loaf of bread and just sandwich meat and stuff like that, and do anything.
Yeah.
That's even good too. Um, I'm trying to think. I did do it. When did I do this once? I was actually playing. I think it might have been an Adeptiocn, right? It wasn't like a full meal prep like that, but it was like a very big focus. Like I refused to eat anything inside of the hall at Adepticon. Like,
Mm,
sure, like I want to have a beer during the game, I'll buy the beer from the thing. But like, I'm
sure.
not getting chicken nuggets and fries. I'm not getting
Yeah,
fried this. I'm not getting fried this. I I would either have a plan to go get some good food there, or have it delivered, or I would just be like, I'm not hungry. I'm fine. I will fast, or just have a protein bar. But like, it was very eating clean,
that's
middle
awesome.
of the day, even while gaming. And I said, man, I won some games because
Yeah,
my opponent was just dragging ass because they were just like, oh, and I'm like, I'm good to go. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, so just some high level stuff. Like I guess, like yeah, if you can meal prep or just eat, find a way to eat clean for at least 1 to 2 meals.
yeah. No, it's a weird idea. It's especially for competitive gamers, right? Because we're both neither of us are uber competitive in any game. I
Yeah.
would say sometimes we don't want to get competitive in certain.
Yeah, it comes on and off, but it's not. I
Yeah,
don't. We're
but
not
like we're
always
not
on. Yeah,
actually competitive players, right?
yeah.
Neither of us
I
are.
think we've won a trophy once, and we're like, cool, we're done. Like I've won
Yep, yep.
trophies, but like I've won one competitive trophy. I'm like, I'm out.
Right. But we don't live and breathe competitive nature, right?
No, no, not at all.
Well, especially not in Warhammer. Not that it comes and goes, but anyway. So a person who does this is a good 40k.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
familiar with the guy, right? So one time he actually takes it very seriously to the point where he will actually have a protocol with gaming beforehand, like with his nutrition.
Oh, okay.
And I don't quite remember what it is now. So if Good somehow watches this video, he can comment.
Please do.
But he had like a caffeine, hydration, and even nicotine protocol where he would like take
Oh,
nicotine patch or nicotine gummy or
well, I
something
mean,
like that.
there is that cognitive
Absolutely.
enhancement you get with
And I
that.
think he was taking another supplement. I'm not sure if it's like L-theanine. Maybe I don't remember. But it was really cool
Right.
how he actually had a proper protocol for his games, right? Where you don't really consider that. A lot of times you'll play a game on like, oh, cup of coffee, and
Yeah.
whatever breakfast, or even just empty stomach. So yeah, if you want to be competitive, take care of your nutrition and health for best focus during the game.
Yeah, and I bet too. I said I don't know if he's put it out there anywhere, but I'd be real curious to know what Stephen Box does because he's a high level competitive
Absolutely.
person and super genuine and super nice. That's how does he do it?
Yeah.
I'd be real
Honestly,
curious. Yeah,
that'd be an interesting video to watch. We can
yeah,
always message them like, "Hey, it would be really interesting to hear your protocol on not Warhammer, but for the games of Warhammer.
yeah. Like
What do you do?"
how do you get ready for Warhammer and stay in your top cognitive function based
Yeah,
upon what
I'm
you
sure
do?
sleep is part of it. I'm sure they're not like
Oh,
staying up, 4 hours before the game.
oh yeah. No, even whenever I think it was I didn't see him this past year. I'm not sure if he attended. He probably did. But the year prior at the World Championships of Warhammer, I ran into him, and he flew in, and he came out to socialize briefly, but like it was like past 9 o'clock. I'm like, I don't see Steven anymore. Like so, yeah,
Yeah,
probably prioritizing sleep for
yeah.
sure. But yeah,
It's funny, like you
I want
prioritize health in any competitive field, right? So
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a necessity.
yeah,
Um,
that's cool.
okay. Well, how do you focus on the gym? Let's be honest. Most hotels have terrible gyms.
Yeah. So what I do, depending how far the event is, the way if it's only a 3-day event, what I'll often do, especially if I'm driving, is I'll actually work out in the morning
Okay.
very often, and then I'll drive down 3 hours, 3.5 hours to an event,
Right.
right? Uh, Another option is usually events are Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, oftentimes I'll just work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then not worry about working out uh, Friday, Saturday, Sunday because I've done 4 days of working out
So you get your volume in ahead of
beforehand.
time, and that you
Right?
don't worry about like, okay, I just don't get a rest day between it as usual. So,
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, just do that. Not a big deal. Just don't push yourself like crazy and do like double the volume in one day because I've done that before and hurt myself. So
Yeah.
be wiser than that. However, if maybe I didn't get a workout in, or if I do have a longer tournament, like 4 or 5 day event, then if you have a hotel gym, I will absolutely get a workout in. And usually,
Yeah.
when we travel anywhere together, we get at least one workout in, sometimes two.
Which actually leads me to another point because every year at the Grand Narrative, me and a good friend Steve over from England from the Warhammer World team, he's always there, and we always make sure we get at least one workout in. And it's the accountability buddy. Have someone, and there's
That's
enough
nice.
people in the space now that you can be like, hey, are you gonna be there? Like, I want to make sure I get to the gym. And like you make that plan, and all of a sudden you don't want to let that person down, so you're gonna show up. So having
Absolutely.
that plan with somebody else is always the biggest thing, because
Yeah. No, I mean,
yeah,
absolutely. And making that plan ahead of time, right? Like, hey, you're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Let's work out this day.
yeah. Don't make that plan as you're out to dinner with them. Like, hey, you want to go work out in the morning? Like, no, it's not gonna happen
Yeah,
then,
it's not going to happen. It's
because
not,
like
you're going to have a
you
beer. You're going to go to bed late. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, have a plan. No, most recently for Tyrathi, for your event, we had a couple friends from Ohio come down,
Mm-hmm.
and they were actually coming late, and they were asking like, "Hey, you still want to work out?" I'm like, "Yes, we're committed to a workout. We're going to work out before the event." So we did. It
There you
was
go.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll say this too. Not every hotel gym's created equally, but I have managed to get a good workout in every single hotel gym I've ever been in. You just have to
Yep,
learn to get creative.
absolutely.
And sometimes sometimes it is just like, okay, well, what if I take this heavy thing that's not technically a barbell? What if I just kind of like slowly pull it up and curl it a little bit? That works, whatever.
Yeah,
Dip
absolutely.
dips off of pads and stuff.
Yeah, I've worked out in hotels that didn't have any dumbbells. Even they just had like one of those, the super cheap chest press machine and then the
Oh
fly
yeah,
machine, like
yeah.
revert and do some rows. You can do stuff with that. Like weight is weight. It might not be the best perfect machine with perfect form, but weight is weight, right? So if you know how to do it, you can do it just fine.
Yeah, I think the it was still a good workout, but I think the worst one I ever had is I went to the it was probably like work or something, but I went to the gym and it was just 3 treadmills. That was it. I was like, okay, I guess I'm running a couple miles.
Yeah. Hey,
That's what I did.
different. Absolutely.
It's still
Yeah.
good. I got cardio in, and I felt better
Absolutely.
for doing something.
Mhm. Yeah, and often, to be fair, with the equipment they have, more often than not, I end up doing upper body,
Yeah,
just because it's easier, right? Usually, usually they don't have a squat rack, they don't have a Smith machine, they don't have quad extension hamstring curl machines, and they have dumbbells, maybe up to 50, and that's being very optimistic, right?
the most I'll get as far as lower body goes is usually like split squats, lunges,
Yeah,
or sissy squats.
and even then, if you're lucky with good weight, 60 squats, I guess you don't have to
Yeah,
have
you
good
don't really
weight.
need weight. Well, so even lunges, like if you just do lunges and just like very like and holds and stuff, you
Yeah,
can tire out the muscles. But yeah,
sure.
it's usually an upper body workout. But like I said, you're probably doing one at two at most there, so it's fine.
Exactly. And this way, you probably will have at least two workouts you can do earlier in the week, maybe at least one. So do a leg day,
Yes.
right? So you're not skipping legs for the whole week. Maybe you're skipping one leg workout, but this way you can still target legs and then add Adepticon, add whatever else, do upper body. You're probably going to be in the mood to do upper body anyway. You get a
You've been
pump
winning
for
your
the first
games.
hour
You
afterwards.
want
You
to
look jacked.
flex, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I would do.
And like I said, there is always the possibility. Always look like find out where your hotel is at, and it's probably next to the venue because you're probably trying to keep it nice and simple. See if there's a good gym
Yeah,
that's with
sure.
like you might be surprised, especially in like the city type settings. Like, hey, there might be a gym that's within like 3 blocks, 4 blocks, 5 blocks.
Absolutely.
You can go get a really good workout in, and you pay a drop in fee, but hey, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah. And sometimes you'll be surprised by how nice the gyms are. I'm thinking of the time we were playing event at Ohio, you
Yep.
and Mike and I and you went to the gym, and that was a nice gym.
It
It
was a
was probably one of the best gyms I've been at.
it's a very nice gym. Now maybe get used to the fact that you're gonna be trying sold to join the gym, and you'd be like,
Yes,
and
that's true. That's very true.
like you
That's
don't want to
definitely
join
part
the
of it.
gym. You just want to get like a couple workouts in. So
Yep. Got to be very clear about your purpose there.
yeah,
I
just
kept getting emails later
I know
about
I
like,
did too. I was like,
"Hey,
oh, go
what is
in.
the deal?" I'm like, I don't live
I don't live
there."
there. No, it's like that. Appreciate it. We just wanted to pay, drop it, and go in once.
All right, so let me give you this. So let's say
Okay.
the gym you have has dumbbells up to 40 pounds. It has a um, adjustable bench, and that's it. What do you do?
Well, I would start. I would do a drop set on uh dumbbell curls.
Oh, you'd start with curls. Okay.
Start with curls, and then immediately go with dips off that bench.
Okay.
So hit biceps, triceps, and then I would sit down on it, and I would do um, not straight flies like those leaned over flies where you're kind of grabbing it from below your legs. I forget what they're exactly called.
Oh, bent over rear delt flies.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know the name of that, but
You're good. You're good.
because that I could take. I mean, the 40s would be heavy for that.
Oh
So
my goodness. Yeah, I'm doing like 15s for that. So
yeah,
that's a
well,
good movement.
yeah. It's like okay, so that gave me three things done, and then obviously you can go back and you can do it's adjustable bench, so you can do some upper chest and some lower chest, even some just mid chest too. I would say because you only have 40s, and if 40s would be pretty light in our experience where we're at lifting, so maybe superset, set of 20, 40 pounds with 20 push-ups, just boom boom,
Mhm.
and just really really just try and fatigue the chest with that. Um, and I guess if you wanted to as well, like a finisher, the Arnold overhead.
Arnold press?
Arnold press.
Behind the neck tricep
Well,
extension,
no, like
or
where you're laying down on the bench. You pull overheads.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Jam press?
No, it's not jam press. So I'm trying to think because we've done it. It's so you're perpendicular to the bench. Your shoulders are on the bench. Your legs are out, and like yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. I can't think of the name of it either. I'm drawing blanks on all the names.
Pullovers.
Yes.
Dumbbell pullovers.
Yep.
Yep.
Dumbbell pullovers. That'd be a good finisher. 40 pounds would be pretty solid.
That's good. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. You can do a deep stretch.
I said that would probably be my workout with an upper body focus.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
you?
good. So because you're only 40 pounds, like I said, depending on where you are with lifting, which most people are probably where we're at, maybe slightly lower, depending who we're talking to. Um, that some movements probably would be a little light. So I'd probably do focus primarily on push. So I would do shoulders first, because 40 pounds is pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll do laying chest flies. I think it's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
appropriate. Yep, laying chest flies. Not the best stimulus, but it's good with what we have. And then I might do a very high rep dumbbell rows.
Yeah.
Maybe I would do an incline bench press machine, chest supported dumbbell rows where you lean. So you can usually use a lighter weight and get the same stimulus as a regular dumbbell row. So shoulder press, chest flies, chest supported, incline bench dumbbell rows, and we pretty much hit all the big muscle groups. I would do some kind of bicep exercise, maybe hammer curls. Then I would do personally probably single arm tricep overhead extensions because you
Okay.
can go relatively heavy. Or skull crushers would be more pretty effective as well.
Yep.
Instead, then I would do the same thing as you, bent over rear delt flies.
Nice.
Yep, that'll be a full workout. Probably wouldn't do a ton of volume because that is a lot of movements to
Yeah.
make get done in an hour. Probably some two sets, some drop sets in those workouts.
Right. And if you've lost your third game of the day so quickly that you have an extra hour and a half on your hand, how would we handle legs? Legs. We wanted to do legs with the same equipment.
With that, okay,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
terrible at
So,
Warhammer, so we've lost our game in Title One. We have so much
okay,
time in the gym. We're doing full body. So
I would do Bulgarian split squats
yep.
or walking lunges. Both are gonna suck, so brace yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would do laying dumbbell hamstring curls,
Okay.
where you put the dumbbell between your legs, kind of by the ankles.
Yep.
And so I would do that. You could do it either on the bench, just laying on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably throw in sissy squats in there, and I would throw in if you have the option, which with a bench you could elevated calf raises
Yeah, that's true.
if you can, if the bench is good enough, or if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
find some kind of a platform. If you don't, that's not a big deal. And honestly, with the weight we have, that's probably it. Maybe some lateral lunges. And that's about it.
I would definitely start with the lunges, weighted lunges.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I might, well, nah, skip that. That's more upper. I'm thinking it's more grip. I was like just farmers carries as long as you can with like you
Oh,
put the
okay.
towels around it, but that's more grip. That's just another thing you could do. Um, I would actually take the you know, take down the 25 or 30s and do devil presses.
What is it?
Devil presses, which
I'm
are
familiar.
a CrossFit thing,
That's why I'm not familiar.
which is fair why you don't know what it is. Essentially you take the two dumbbells. It's preferable if they're the hexagonals. I mean, if they're
Mm,
circles, you could still do this, but hexagonals is easier.
sure.
You're standing with them at your sides. You drop down. You essentially do a burpee.
Oh,
You essentially
okay.
you go down to a push up, you stand up, and you burpee, but you're doing it with
I already hate
dumbbells.
it.
That's
Yeah.
why it's called a devil press. Um, but do a couple sets of those, and like that's gonna get you cardio. It's gonna get you a little bit of
Mhm.
everything. Sissy squats too, yeah, because like that's I just do that every
Body weight.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy. You just have it. Outside of that, I would say maybe just to mix it up a little bit. You could do was it they like Viking hamstring curls where like you like to find the treadmill that's not no one's using, put your feet under it, and it's like where
Oh,
you lean forward and you
the
can
Nordic curls.
Nordic curls. There it is. I was like, oh, Viking curls. But no, Nordic
Close enough.
curls.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously too, like I don't think I can pull myself. I don't know. I haven't tried Nordic curls, but
Oh,
I would probably doing the negatives mostly because
yeah. That'll
um,
work. Yeah.
yeah. So that'd probably be me mostly. Because like the double press is gonna take a lot out of you. It's gonna gets a little all body at that point. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be good. And there's another. You could do a lot of quad stuff and glute stuff.
Hmm.
There's another hamstring thing you could do besides just laying dumbbell hamstring curls. You could do for it to be heavy enough. You could do single leg Romanian deadlifts.
True.
Because you can grab 240s because that's only 80 pounds, but you
But
could do that with a single leg, which would be because if you do deadlifts regularly, it's going to feel pretty light to do just 40 pounds with two legs.
mhm.
But with a single leg, it's a pretty decent load. It's not bad.
You could do planks, but it's a Warhammer trip. You're on vacation. You don't need to be
Yeah, you
that
could
mean to yourself.
skip corn cardio. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah, and then other than that, I think like I said, it being mindful too of calories you're consuming. Like I
Yeah,
said, and don't be afraid to like, hey, I'm gonna let loose. I'm gonna have a great time. That's
exactly.
fine. But like, if you're just like, hey, you know what? I've had maybe I shouldn't have two beers per game. Maybe I should have
Sure,
like one beer per game, or
sure.
you know things like that. Like even still, like when I'm at a Warhammer event, the one thing I still follow, like okay, yeah, like, I'm gonna have some drinks with the people I'm gaming with, and then my buddies and all that. I s- I still don't drink till the afternoon. Like I get some people wake up, they're like, "Woo,
Probably a
let's
good
go,"
idea.
and I'm like, "Hey, good for you. I'm gonna have coffee and water until that clock strikes around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and
Yeah,
I've had lunch in me."
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Set a rule for yourself,
yeah,
and really set a rule for yourself and stick to it. Like for you, it's no drinks till afternoon. Personally, I really don't like. For me, it's later, right?
yeah,
So like if there's 3 games in the day, I don't actually have alcohol until game three
yeah.
because then I can actually relax. By the time a game is over, I'm already a little buzzed. Then I have a bit more alcohol later if we're drinking, right?
Hmm.
But that's like my rule. My rule is like not until evening.
Well, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saving my
yeah.
drink for evening time. You can do earlier, you can do later, but
Yeah.
just set a rule and stick to it.
Hmm.
And one thing I will say is protein, right?
Yeah. If you can,
Protein is going to be your hardest thing to get. So if you're traveling, what I do is just I just bring protein bars and protein shakes with me,
yeah,
and
yeah, protein shakes. That's such a good idea. I always forget about it. Like I've done it like once or twice, but like you can scoop it into a baggie if you don't want to bring your whole big
oh
thing.
yeah, yeah. If you're flying, you can just bring like a container of protein powder, and if you are, and they have packs of protein powder too, sealed packs.
Hmm.
Or you can, if you're traveling, if you're driving, just buy pre-made ones, and they're super convenient.
Yeah.
So you can just enjoy those. But yeah, protein is something you're probably going to struggle to get. So bring it with you. That's what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like I said, hotel food is it's tasty because it's the only thing there. But yeah, it's not going to be the healthiest for you at all times. That said,
Yeah.
you know, make sure you venture
Enjoy
outside.
it.
You know, explore a
Yeah,
little bit,
enjoy it, enjoy
find
it.
some
It's
pleasure.
vacation. It's your vacation, so enjoy it, have a good time, but also don't, enjoy it in moderation. There's no need
Yeah,
to lose all your progress because you did not have any discipline for a week.
yeah. And I think the thing you have to keep in mind too is people have it can be rough out there. So some people like they got their vacation time. They just want to go nuts. Like you still have to go back to normal within a week.
Right,
The
right.
farther you stray from your normal, the harder it is to go back.
Absolutely.
So if you can
You have to
stay,
enjoy it.
yeah,
Enjoy it. We're not saying not to enjoy it.
no, be miserable, hate it, hate
Yeah.
your experience. No, but yeah,
But at the same time, actually don't be miserable, right? And part of not being miserable is still having some healthy habits.
yes, yeah, you'll be
Yeah.
you'll be
If you
you'll
drink,
you won't be upset about it. Yeah.
right, if you're hungover 5 days in a row and then Monday, next day you have to go to work, you are going to be miserable,
Oh, 100
right?
percent.
So
I
don't be miserable.
that's like any day that you're like, I don't know, like maybe it's because I'm 39, Alex, but like if I accidentally have like a drink or two too many, I wake up kind of hungover. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do this ever again, and I
Don't look
usually
a day
don't.
over 34,
Well,
Chuck.
thank
You're welcome.
you. But internally, I'm 39. That's the
You
truth.
feel it. You feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But well, anyway, yeah, good luck with everybody doing that. If you're flying or driving home from Adepticon and you hear this, sorry that this might be too late for you, but for next time. Or maybe you're crushing it and like I
The
said,
next event. Yeah,
let us know what you're doing because we all want to be healthy and roll dice longer.
that's right.
Well, with that, I guess we should we should just head out. Alex, you haven't done anything
Yep. Yep.
important, right? Nope.
Yep. You guys. Yep. Have a good one.
All right, all right, all right. Alex's hobby time. Boom. Let me get
Woo.
it up here. Boom. Here's a
Yeah,
lovely picture
most
of
of our hobby
three.
happens the day before we record because we have a hobby night on Wednesday,
Hmm.
and then we record on Thursdays.
Hmm. So, it looks like a lovely little crew here. This was this. No, okay. I see my army in the background. So we were on the couch. I don't know because like you guys were playing later when I left. I was sleepy. Um,
Yeah, we're playing late into the night. I think we finished at 1 a.m. It's a
okay.
bit of a late night. Yeah.
So it was it's you and Brad there, the lovely little couple. What was it Orcs and Goblins versus Luke's High Elves? It seems.
Yes, yes. We kind of threw a not planned game. So we borrowed one of the armies from the club.
Hmm.
Both Brad and I made a 1,000 point list and faced Luke with his 2,000 point list of high elves, so orcs and goblins versus high elves. And it was a really fun game. I was trying out. Yeah, Brad brought a completely just narrative like, here is a bunch of spiders, here is an arachnarok, here is wolf riders, here is trolls, and like just no synergies, right?
Yeah,
Just fun, just
just
fun, which is good.
big stompy gribblies. That's what he loves.
Which is great. It was really fun, really cool toys. And what I brought was I made a 2,000 point list. We're going to a tournament where we're trying to be competitive.
Yeah.
So I brought a couple things I wanted to try out that I don't have in my list that I might add. Uh, so one of the things I want to try is bring a very wizard heavy list, right?
Okay.
With goblins bringing 3 level 4s, which is the max you can have.
Hmm.
In Goblin Army, you can actually do it pretty easily. So I brought 2 level 4s, 1,000 points, and
Right.
then some of
Right.
the stuff I wanted to try. And I really enjoyed it. Actually, really, really liked it. I really liked having magic superiority. I really liked having a big dispel bubble as well. So
Yep.
yeah, it was good. So I kind of brought a stronger list, and Brad brought a fun list. I think it balanced it out, and it was a good game. It was a game we played 5 turns. I think it was a win for orcs and goblins.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game.
I see a nice little picture here of uh, Luke's not general on Griffin, but I think it's BSB on Griffin, just attacking some squigs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did work. He did work. He'd cleaned up a couple of units. Probably half of the army was just killed by that one griffin. Of Brad's. Yeah,
Yeah, his Griffin does good work. It's like his lucky model. It's great.
yeah, yeah. He did well.
Perfect, perfect. And then what's this new army you're building here? What's
Yeah,
going on? We saw some stuff on Instagram, but
yeah. So I decided to. I was thinking about it, and I had the Skaven tide box for Skaven,
mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I have Skaven for Age of Sigmar, probably about 3,000 points. Nothing crazy, but I have a decent chunk.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have much motivation to work on them for Age of Sigmar. And I've had a lot of fun playing Old World. So I decided to start a smaller 1,000 point Skaven army.
Nice.
And Yeah, this Saturday, a couple days from now, I am playing our mutual friend Ben, and he's his Beastman. So I decided to build 1,000 points for our game on Saturday. So the
That's
goal is
yeah.
to at least build and base them. I might have time to prime them, but at least build them so the army is actually physically on the bases.
Hey, there you go. That's a solid plan if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Well, once again, there's nothing else to talk about. Let's just wrap up. All right. Now, uh, because it's very clear, everybody listening to this podcast, that we're in love with Old World more than any other
Absolutely.
Warhammer game right now. It's just our
Absolutely.
preferred game. It's so fun. It's so engaging to us. Alex, I have to know, and it's like, then get ready, everybody, because me and Neil are gonna not shut up for the next like hour after this. Um, what are your thoughts on the reveals? Let's just focus on the Old World. Let's not worry about any other
Sure.
reveals. Like that's fine. Um, what were your thoughts? We got uh, the Wood Elves, the Beastmen, and then the reveal of the Grand Cathay. So, what's your thoughts, high level, on all of these?
Yeah, I was very happy, you know, that they released all three at the same time. That they're not releasing Cathay, then Wood Elves, then the Beastmen.
Well,
They're all coming.
they might still release them over time separately.
Oh, you think so? It's
Yeah,
not going to be
they're
all
not
in
going to
one.
release that. That would screw up their budget for next year because,
Oh,
yeah,
that's unfortunate.
like I
Okay.
said, yeah.
Okay. Okay. For some reason, I thought they were going to release them close together, but
I
maybe
mean,
not.
it's going to be closer than maybe what we were expecting. But
Right. Because lately they've been releasing like what, one army every 4 months, 3 months,
uh, maybe 2 months. It's not.
2 months.
It's been pretty good.
Okay.
Plus, there's also like
Okay.
they have to space out their releases because there's so much.
Okay, fair enough, fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay, but at least we saw what's coming out very much at the same time, right? So
Yes.
we know what to get, and I'm pretty happy with that because I thought they were going to kind of milk it and be like, okay, here is Bisman revealed at this big tournament, and
Right.
here's Wood Elves released in this big tournament, and here's Cathay, right? But they kind of released all at the same time, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
I really like.
I know. I was expecting them just to show Wood Elves and Beastmen. Grand
Yeah,
Cathy was just like, okay.
yeah, yeah, super cool. So, and we have friends who play Wood Elves. We have friends who play Beastman. So it's
I
really
play Wood
cool.
Elves. You just never
You
see
play
them
Wood
because
Elves?
I prefer High
Literally
Elves.
never see it. Never saw you play them in the old world yet.
I don't even know how good they are. I mean, I'm gonna be
Yeah, well, they're about to be much better.
probably yeah.
Yep. And Grand Cathay, I liked it a lot. It's not an army I personally would collect.
Hmm.
I just don't. The vibes just not my vibes. But I do. I think they look gorgeous. I actually really like the feel of it.
Hmm.
I know some people may think it's a bit higher fantasy than Old World is, but I actually really like it. I think
Yeah.
there's still plenty of guys on horses, just troops in armor and shields and swords. And at the same time, we have a dragon model, we have cool cannons and artillery, and we have cool,
Sky Lantern. Yeah.
monsters.
Hmm.
Yeah, and on the lantern
Yeah.
was the air balloon lantern that's probably, I don't know, that or the dragon are my favorite from the Cathay release.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm so glad with the dragon. I mean, I said I apologize, but you're gonna hear me say this all twice, probably a little bit. But I'm glad they gave her the human form and the dragon form.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm real curious how that's gonna play. But
I
yeah,
do want. Yeah,
I think what is most exciting for you out of this, because I like Cathay. I'm probably gonna buy this army because like it's cool. Why not? Um, but it's mostly just the Total War stuff coming over, which is
yes.
great. Now, granted, we still need to see. I think there's like peasant spearmen and maybe archers in a Total War for Cathay that we
Okay,
haven't seen. So maybe there's more to come.
that's
Or maybe
cool.
this is more of an elite army. They're just leaving those out. Either way, that's fine. But I think what is most exciting for you and kind of what you said last night is you know that when Kislev comes, you're getting Total War Kislev, which is just going to be phenomenal.
Absolutely. Yeah, I cannot wait to get a Kislev release for Old World. I'm hoping, and this is just my expectation, within 2 years. Right
I can see
now,
that. Yeah.
hopefully it's sooner. Hopefully it's sooner because we're at what, only just past year
We're
one.
just past year one. So if we assume we're on a 3 year cycle, like everything else, even though that's probably too short anymore for what it feels like, this year's probably going to be, I would assume, Horus Heresy, because I think that one's coming up on
Mhm,
3 years in July.
mhm.
Next year's 40K. Then the year after that would be Old World, and then the year after
Right.
that would be Sigmar again, I think.
Yeah.
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 So yeah,
So it's not outside of realm of a possibility to have a completely new army with completely new models within 2 years. That's what I'm hoping for. If it's 3 years, if it's longer, if I'm still around, I'll still be happy. But yeah, I mean, my goodness, if they bring the type of stuff we see in Total War for Kislev into the old world, yeah, that's a new army for me.
yeah. I think the only downside that's going to hurt most with Kislev is they have to really. I don't know who the leader is at the time
Yeah, yeah,
because it's
because
not.
it wouldn't be Serena Katarina.
No, and she is so badass.
She is so cool. I have the model for her, the old model.
Yeah, but would it? Yeah, the old model's cool. Would it be? Was it always Ice Queens because of the sword thing? Like that sword that
I
only they can touch.
I think it's Ice Queens
Okay.
always, but I think there's also like different boyarins and
Okay.
different faction leaders because I think they do have a czar, like a still a king. I
Yeah.
don't know the relationship as far as like how they divide control of the country because I know she is like the leader,
Yeah.
but usually there's also like sub leaders.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're gonna have some lore in there.
Yeah, and it's to be fair, it maybe as we start hearing those rumors, we'll dive into that, and we will do deeper episode with
Yeah.
all of us to look at like Kislev. But now we're gonna start looking at Cathay a lot more. Like
Yes.
I want to learn as much as I can because those models are very engaging. I've always had a fondness for like the Chinese culture.
Hmm.
Like I said, I just cultures in general, but like I took Chinese in college to try and learn the language, and there's a lot of beauty to it, even though it's a nightmare to learn. um,
I'm sure.
but yeah, I'm like, yeah, like I like everything that I saw about it, so I'm everything's financially good. I'll be buying that army when it comes out.
Yeah, that's
As
awesome.
long as it's not like next month, because I got high elves to get through first.
Sure.
If they're
You
like
have to finish
Grand
those first.
Cathay next month, I'll be like, hold on, I'll buy the
No,
book and a model.
I don't know lore for Cathay almost at all,
Mhm.
right?
I know very little too.
So the leader, is it the same leader that's in Total War?
Yeah, because it's an eternal dragon. Like
That's
yeah,
okay, because it looked very, very
yeah,
familiar.
it's a family of dragons essentially that run that place, and some are good, some are bad. It's a little bit like that's where the yin yang
I
thing's coming into play
I gotcha.
for the
Sure.
culture of that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's but I know a little bit about it, but not as much as I want to. But like now, I'm like, I want to know more.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect.
No, I'm very excited for the future of Old World, and if they
Yeah.
are going to continue releasing new armies, there are very few obvious options for the future.
Right. Well, I think the big thing, and this is it's not obviously not going to be this week, but in the future weeks, we're going to look at the Renegade pack that Val made.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
like it. I'm a fan of it. I'm usually not a comp style person, but this doesn't feel like comp. It feels just more of a this is what most of
Common
us are just
sense.
doing anyway, so those people can have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but I think that with that in mind, the next step doesn't have to be like okay, Kislev. Obviously, that's an obvious step. Past that, bring back those. Just give them full rewrites. Like
Yep.
GW needs to get over its little internal issues it has, and just give us the Dark Elves because
Yep.
they're everywhere.
Yep.
Sorry, give us
And
Lisbon,
Skaven,
Skaven.
like and demons. Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, and I'm like I said, it doesn't have to be like all at once. Boom, here you go. It can be like, hey guys,
Sure.
we're finally bringing them back. First up is Dark Elves, and
Sure.
just Arcane Journal it.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, if we're looking at the Arcane Journal for Cathay, everything that's in that army has to be in that book. It doesn't exist anywhere else in our rule
Yeah.
set. So
Yeah.
they're gonna prove that they can do it, which will be fun to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think the reality is that the community really wants it, and
Well, the thing is,
people are
we're gonna do it anyway. You might as well
right.
just support us and make more money off of
You might
us.
as well support and make money. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And they're making money regardless because people are buying Sigmar models and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
thing for it.
Once again, yeah, Val and Rob did that whole
Yeah.
thing, which broke it down.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, people are just buying the Sigmar stuff anyway. Who cares? Like,
Right.
we're not
Just
listening
give
to
us
you.
rules. Give us rules.
Yeah,
Right. That's all. Yeah. I love that.
good. Well, with that said, though, I think it's a good little advice for staying on target for your next Adepticon, which I think the next event's what it's Nova, right? Yeah, that's the next big event for the big three. I guess
No,
there's
no. I think next is the Old World tournament we're going to in May.
oh, in Akron, yeah, you're right. That's the biggest
Yeah.
one ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. 14 people tournament. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Hey, they might expand, you know. Um, Yeah. Okay. Well, Alex, we will catch you next week as usual. So you go out there, you go be that, you go be the best you can be this week.
Me or the listener?
No, you. I'll remind the listener at the end of the show.
All right, great. Thank you, Chuck. I will do
You're
that.
welcome. You got this, buddy.
Yep. Yep.
And we are back with Neil. Neil, you're in a new location. It looks like over there. Where are you at? Are you in the far east?
Where is this? Yeah,
I
we
don't
are
know.
in the far east here. My
Hmm.
goodness, took a plane ride out here.
Man.
I'm in a place where there are no natural enemies of anyone who lives here.
Oh boy, that's
No
pretty.
rivals, I should say. No
No rivals.
rivals.
No rivals.
Mhm.
Crossing those streams, but I guess we can now. We'll get there when we get there, though.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, Neil, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I
Doing
have been. You can't tell by these surroundings, but you can probably tell by the camera. This is actually a better looking camera than the one I have upstairs, and it's on a laptop for God's sakes, because I am feeling a little bit under the weather, and so is my wife, and so I have been booted out of my normal recording area, and so here we are. But we're fighting through. Going to give you all the best effort I got here tonight. So I am. I work in a hospital, and I have 2 children, and so what that means is. I'm sick like every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Despite whatever concoction you have to have in you at any given time, sometimes it's pure
Right.
alcohol, sometimes it's medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good. I mean, there's thankfully Games Workshop has given us content this week. I know everybody you're excited. We were going to talk about our high elf custom armies of infamy, and that is the plan for next week. But we realized if we talked about anything besides the reveal show, it would get buried in the algorithm completely, and we might as well take free content when we got it.
Sure.
Yep. So
And honestly, it's the most important news I feel that's happening in some stretch of time.
yeah,
And for fantasy, a very long time.
very long time. Actually, we'll put the image back up here again of the the old world players looking down at the AOS reveals at Adeptiocn from our mighty sky lantern. I love that. That'll stay there for a while. But anyway, Neil, more importantly than anything else, more important than any reveal or any new armies we may get for random games that are old, how's your lawn?
Lawn's doing okay.
Good?
The spring has sprung. That's the best I can say about it. So, not in any state that I need to worry about it at the moment.
Not yet. It was nice enough that I could go outside in my slippers to prime some models today. And like they're slippers that have like rubber soles. So like they're my basement slippers. But I can wear them outside when it's not winter and the ground's wet. So I felt good. My lawn's doing okay too. But yeah, lawns are good. Everything's good. Let's talk some hobby. Neil, I know you said you didn't have any pictures of the week. You had a little bit of hobby. So do you want to give us an update
Yeah.
of what's going on with you before I show off
Yeah,
my
I
fun
can-
stuff?
I can run through that. I mean, it's really quick. I pulled out my sky cutters, which I finished for Tale of Four Warlords. I've never been happy with how the wings turned out, and so like I am exceedingly bad. And I have never gotten any better at like dragon wings, where you have the little like, I guess you could call them the fingers of
Yeah.
the wings,
Mhm.
right? Not the membrane part, but the fingers. Like there's no way to make that look good when I do it. Okay.
Okay.
And so these have like little bands of wood or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
you want to paint it as, in between the sails. And there's either like some of it bleeding off the wood onto the very bright blue sail that I have, or some of the blue getting onto the wood. And I cannot, no matter how many times I go over it and try to fix it, get it right. So it took me, I came down there expecting to finish the sky cutters in about 10 minutes. And between them and I actually put the third guy on as well. So I had to paint 2 guys and bases of the sky cutters, flock the sky cutters just around the edges.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's all I came down to do. And it took me 2.5 hours.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And I'm still not super happy with it, but whatever. It's where it's at.
It's better. Yeah, sometimes it's good to walk away.
Right.
Yeah, like I had that with one of my hobby things I was building recently. I realized I need to stop and just walk away from it and
Yeah.
let it be for a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep making it worse, trying to assemble it. But
I mean, I try to be so delicate with the brush strokes. I don't know. I don't understand how people make this stuff look good. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I need to look up some tutorials or something. I don't know. So
well, it's like so painted up my Malineth, last week and all that. Talked about it. Did everything exactly how I do for my Daughters of Cain. And I was like, it's not the best painted Daughters of Cain model I had, but like, I felt like, okay, yeah, it turned out pretty good. I like it. And I saw someone do it, like literally the second I posted it on Instagram, and I was just like, why did I even bother?
yeah,
like, oh, I mean, it's
yeah,
fine. I enjoy it, but still, it's like,
yeah,
I know. Sometimes you just get frustrated at your lack of ability, no matter how hard you try.
yeah. It's I don't know. Like sometimes, like lately, I've been trying a little harder than
Hmm.
what I have been. And like I go back and I look at some of the stuff I did, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And I don't know, man. I just, as I've talked about ad nauseum, just really struggle with bright colors, and because you can hide a lot in some dirty Nuln Oil.
Oh
Okay, you
yeah,
can hide a
that's
lot.
look at most of my
It's all
armies. Yeah.
it's liquid talent, right? But when
Yep.
you can't use Nuln Oil, that's rough for this guy. So
Yep. No, I hear you. I hear you. But hey, at least we have painted armies, and a painted army's better than an unpainted army. So let's be
it's
happy with
true.
that.
Fair enough.
Yep.
But they're like that one Space Marine where the eyes are going either way.
Well,
You know.
okay, but yeah, all right. Hey, we don't know the context. Maybe the guy's still 3 years old painting that model.
Hmm.
All right. Well, let me show off my terrible hobby. I took pictures of mine. So first up is the Great Eagle. That's a beautiful Great Eagle sculpt. That you love this one, and I didn't have this one, so
I do. Yeah, I do. I
yep,
like it better than any of the others. Save there was a very old one even before the other two that you have,
yeah.
and I like that one. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Like I said, it. Thankfully, even though it was a nightmare to build because it's all metal, it was a gem to paint. It's just dry brush. I kept it just brown. I wasn't going super fancy with it. I just kind of wanted to sculpt more than the need of another Great Eagle. So, but here you are. Next up, something I was very happy to paint. The Handmaiden of the Everqueen.
Oh yeah.
My favorite high elf sculpt. And the old one came in fine cast. So the model I have for it, I only ever got one because I was younger when these came out, so I painted it and left it in the box. Used it for sure, but then with the old world coming out, I wanted a handmaiden in my army regularly, so I kit bashed one, which I'm very happy with that kit bash. I still kind of will use that one more, oddly
Yeah.
enough. But I'm happy that I have the old sculpt now. That I think Darren Latham is the one that sculpted this, and he did a great job with it. But it's in metal. It's durable. I feel comfortable. I can go buy more.
Mhm.
I'm just super thrilled to have another one of these again. And like I said, the other one was blonde, so I made this one more brunette because I mixed the hair colors, especially within the sisters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just super thrilled to have this one. I really just enjoyed every moment of it.
Awesome.
And I even tried some like more subtle ness on the highlights on the blue. Helped a little bit. I could do a little bit better on the purple highlights, but the blue, I'm proud of. Next up, 4 white lions. Just
Yeah.
nice and
Turned out
easy.
pretty good.
Yeah, I love it. Non oil, liquid talent helped, and then a quick dry brush of the white back after to kind of bring it back up.
Hmm.
You'll notice on the back, like some of them have some extra high up shields or flags or just accoutrements because there's a little hole in the back of them if you don't have them on the chariot. And I was like, I could just gap fill it. I was like, nah, let me throw on something interesting, something different. So the shields might be a little bit much, but I still think they look pretty good. It's kind of fun. It's like extra armor for those ones.
Sure.
And then last but not least of what I finished is extra tier knock chariot. In the bits trade I did with Martin to trade my Avatar of Cain for those white lions, he also threw in just his extra chariot stuff. So there was like 1 3/4 tier knock chariots. So I kept one for myself, gifted one to Luke so he can have a chariot, maybe put his BSB on it. But now I can actually run a unit of Tyrannok chariots.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to be able to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see I'd love to see a Tomb Kings-esque, high elf army, just, all the chariots.
That that would
pain in the ass to
be
paint.
that'd be be a real pain in the ass to paint. I mean, this wasn't awful. It's more pain in the ass I like to deal with, like more than a one-off. But trying to think, 'cause I have two Tyrannok chariots, and I have one Tyrannok chariot with a hero on it, and I have one White Lion chariot and one White Lion chariot with a hero on it. So I technically only have 5 chariots. So I don't even, like 5 chariots. An army does not make.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Well, and then besides that, my current hobby, I did get these primed, and I started putting some paint on the one of them. But the resin kits from the recent release, so the Charcian Lord, Ishaves, and the Merworm are assembled. And this Merworm is the thing where I had to walk away. I got
it does say expert kit.
Does say expert kit. I guess I'm technically an expert now. I started getting the Merworm itself together and the base together fine, but the base was a little bit warped, and I could not get it to sit flush. And I was like, it's gonna be a problem when I try to put these two things together and marry them. And that was the case. And I got it on there mostly, and then I broke the tail off. And that's where I had to walk away. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna let the guy dry on there. He's positioned in a way I can get the tail back on. I'll re-glue the tail later. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was it's assembled, it's prime, it's holding up. Looking forward to
When I
painting
saw
it.
the pictures, I didn't notice anything. So
Thank you. I'm glad for that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that's my hobby. And actually, well, it'll be blurry, but let me see if I can. Getting there you go. Yes, so I'm working on the base first.
There he is. Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing him green with the blue of my army.
Oh, I'm doing mine like a turquoise.
Oh, okay.
Like a very you know what? If you got 1 second here, you keep talking about that Merworm.
I will. Yeah, because the choice of the color, I want it to kind of stand out a little bit. Because my army is blue and purple, and then I mixed in like the pinkish of Illyrian throughout the army. So I thought about like, oh, I could paint it blue and put the purple on like the fins and stuff. But I was like, that would blend in too much to the army, and I want it to stand out. So I figured green and then use the blue of the army would be a good compromise.
Very nice. So I will be using. So I have a little bit of a pink theme, like just with the flowers and stuff. I kind of pull out some pinks in my army with the light blue. So if you see this guy right here, you can see it very well. So that's the green that I'm going to do. I'm going to make him kind of slimy. I'm going to basically follow the same.
Nice.
Same paint scheme as that. So like some pink on the fins there.
Yep.
Whatnot. So yeah.
That will look nice. Real good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm probably gonna gloss mine a little bit after. I'm gonna make it slimy too, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's right
with hard coat all over him. So
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that hobby out of the way, and like I said, I'm gonna enjoy the Adeptiocn streams this weekend and paint these 3 models up. So next week, that means I finally might start my kit bash of my Terathi mounted model. But anyway, we have reveals to talk about, Neil. There's a reason why you flew all the way from Uthwan to Grand Cathay, despite being sick. I mean, you took the whole house. Like, your wife's sick, and you're like, no, I'll just move the whole house. We'll take it all together. So,
yeah, everybody, we're out of here. Our green cards are ready to go.
Yes, sir. Well, let me bring up the reveals here, and we can talk about that. I found the right button. There we go. Boom. Adeptiocn 2025 preview show. So, Neil, high level. How was this preview show in your mind?
Well, you're talking the whole thing or the things I care about?
Whole thing.
I don't ever get too excited about the 40K stuff just because I'm a Tau guy, and if there's no Tau stuff, then whatever. It doesn't matter. It's another Space Marine. Sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're red, sometimes they're black, sometimes they're gray, sometimes they have little pistols, and sometimes they have rocket launchers. But a Space Marine to me is a Space Marine is a Space Marine. So I never get very excited about any of that kind of stuff.
Fair.
The smaller specialist games as well, not I don't know. It's not my bag either.
Unless,
So I'm happy if you're happy about it. That's awesome.
A lot of the specialist
but-
games, it's if the models aren't cool enough that I can pull to the full game, I'm usually like, that's neat. Good for the people that enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just always found, like in my at least local area, like whenever somebody wants to play one of those games, it's just so rare. I'll buy into it, then I just can't find enough people to play, and then even if I can, sometimes I'm like, I want to play AOS or Old World, like so. It kind of gets shoved to the back.
Yeah.
So, but as like a new entry for people and everything, I understand why it exists and all that kind of stuff. So,
it's fun whenever it comes out, like Underworlds. Like, I still have it, and it's sitting there, but no one plays it anymore. Warcry, no one plays it anymore.
Right.
It was fun when we did it, but yeah, it's just like, lack of support mixed with just lack of, I guess, caring about it, because I think, like, me personally, like you and I are the same, that if I'm going to make the effort to play a war game, I want to play a war game, not...
Right. That's what I do with my time. So it's nothing against those games. It's just that's how I spend my time.
Yeah, if I had a next door neighbor that was you,
right.
and you're like, hey Chuck, you wanna get a quick game of Underworlds in before we go back to work on our lunch break? Sure, yeah, let's do it. But that's not the case.
Yeah. Where I usually found time for those is back in the day when my kids were younger, and I'd go to a shop like all day long, right? And I'd be sitting in the shop, and we'd play a game of AOS. Maybe we'd play a second game, and there was a couple hours, maybe an hour left in the night. Like, hey, do you want to do something? Do you want to try and get one more game in? We'd pull out one of those, right? Play that real quick, and then it was back home, But
Underworlds was good for post event, like you're in the evening having a beer.
Yeah,
just hanging out. That was good for that.
Yep.
Although I think at most events now, the commander format of Magic the Gathering has replaced that, because it's easy to play a casual Magic the Gathering game in chat, I feel, than a casual like Underworlds or something.
Yeah.
Less to carry too.
So I mean, the things that I was most excited for, obviously Old World at this point.
Yep.
I didn't actually even stay up to see if they had anything for AOS. From what it sounds like, there wasn't much.
Not as much as Old World.
Yeah, at least I heard some griping from my AOS buddies. So, but I don't know. I do think it was. I mean, I understand why it is what it is. Like, I understand why you show Wood Elves and why you show Beastmen, even though the models have been out for 20 years, right? But it does make me chuckle a little bit that we're previewing those models.
Yeah.
But I understand why you have to show that the armies, arrived. I get it.
What models are you bringing back? Which ones are maybe not?
It makes me kind of laugh a little bit. Like, here's the preview of something you've seen almost your entire life.
Yep.
But that was all worth it, because we got, for the first time, I think we were talking about this a little bit earlier, Chuck, I think since Ogre Kingdoms, a fully new army for Warhammer Fantasy,
which is crazy. And like, I'm thinking back, I played 8th edition. That's where I came in. So there wasn't new armies for me. Like, well, I mean, if they were, they didn't feel new because I was so fresh.
Yeah, I want to say Ogre Kingdoms was pretty like 2000, like early mid 2000s, something like that.
I'm not sure.
I think that's when we started seeing that. But they're still, they're probably the last one. Tomb Kings before them.
Okay.
I believe, even though Tomb Kings probably dates back pretty far, but until that, like the Tomb Kings as we know them,
I'm checking here. That's 1st edition.
Bet you that's probably a hard one to.
It's probably a hard one
come
to
up
pin down
on the internet's there.
yeah, not on the fly like this. So,
but either way, I mean, what an impressive reveal from the video. The video was great.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and nothing has come close to the
Marathi video.
The Marathi video, right? But I mean, this was close. Yeah. If anything got close, this was close, and I think
this isn't to call out the person because they didn't do an awful job, but man, the Marathi voice acting was so peak. This
Yeah.
one sounded like she had a cold. And I'm like,
Yeah. I let that one go. Also, the fact that we're very clearly, an Asian um, area here, but that accent was not there. I would have thought, we would have leaned
eh,
that way a little bit, but
you
whatever.
could have just
Um,
avoided it.
yeah,
Too.
either.
You could have just not done it, and we've been okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So, but whatever.
sometimes it's a safer route.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to make that call. I'm not paid that money to make that call. So,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
those are very small, very very small quips for that. So,
I agree though with your sentiment with the whole like overall like 40K. It was fine. Like Space Wolves have a small place in my heart, so seeing some new stuff for there kind of got me. Oh, that's neat. Not enough to buy the army. None of the other 40K stuff interested me. Tyranids don't interest me. Sigmar. I have the spearhead. I don't play spearhead too often, and I don't feel like I need more to keep me engaged when I do maybe play spearhead. Back to the whole thing we were talking about before, where I'll play full Age of Sigmar,
right.
more likely. But I'm glad just people get it, get into spearhead and are getting more content. But like that was your reveal. Oh, and hey, the General's Handbook's coming. There was something interesting with that whole General's Handbook thing. But just like you weren't revealing anything for Age of Sigmar that mattered.
Right.
That's what it
My
felt
thing
like.
too is like, they've only put out how many books, right? And if we're still on this 3-year cycle,
Oh yeah,
man,
you told.
they better get on their horse.
Yeah,
They
would
better
you
get
say
riding on those,
there's gonna start being a book like every like 2-3 weeks
Right.
to keep up if you want to get
I
them
mean,
all out in
honestly.
time? Unless they're maybe they're doing the thing that we always wanted and like, hey, move to 4 years, please, at least.
Yeah. Cheers. At least.
At least. Anyway, let's dive in. We're gonna knock out the simple stuff out of the way first. So boom, let's check out the Space Wolves. Um, I said locally, Brandon in my club, he's a Space Wolf fan. He has a beautiful painted army by Bobby in the club who painted it for him. He does the actual traditional gray. Um, what's interesting though, when he was doing it, because had a lot of kit bashing in there. So his Blade Guard veterans, if you know that in 40K, which is just like the guys with the shields and the big swords, they were in the secret level alongside Titus. That's a Blade Guard veteran if you don't know. Um, so they're getting like it looks like their own sort of version of it, which is they have like a Terminator shield sort of thing and a big axe. Well, Brandon already, or whoever did the army, actually kit bashed the Blade Guard to look like that. So he's like, I can't even be excited about the new model because I kind of already have them. But still, he might get some. Like, it's interesting. But yeah, like, nice refresh. I've painted some Space Wolves in my day. Very cool to see them. Like the update, like the new heads. It looks good, but like you said, it's just a Space Wolf at the end of the day. Yeah, I do like this guy, the like the chaplain, the guy with the wolf, the hood and the wolf skull mask. He's pretty cool, but I actually like this. He has a bear head with the beard. If you scroll down a little bit, Neil, you'll see it. I like that better than the hood, which is hard to say because liking something that's not a hood when there's a hood option, it's very interesting. And then,
Let's get there.
Are you there?
Not yet. You keep on going.
That's
I'll
fine.
get there.
It's fun. Looks like the cover is pretty good. I don't know if this is a special edition cover. But looks better than my Dark Angel cover and my Eldari cover. Oh, it's just a little more thematic. So, but yeah, that's it. Space Wolves, cool. Glad they're back for some people, especially like my club member. All right. Next up, we had Crusade. So, it's their spearhead, Armageddon and Grey Knights. Oops. Let's go back. Let's open as a new tab there.
So yes, there we go.
Yeah. So new Crusade book, which is good. It's actually Crusade's not like Spearhead. Crusade is more their Path to Glory, I believe. Is that it? What's it called? I'm looking up. I have some over there. Or no, maybe Crusade. Crusade is just buy the box and go. But anyway, the smaller version of the game, a little more narrative heavy. Getting their own book. We're fighting on Armageddon again, apparently, because that planet just won't go away.
What's got a cool name?
It is. It is. It's been a lot of history. A lot of history. If you actually know the lore. Um. So yeah, just an overview of the book. Hey, there's also Grey Knights coming. And I was shocked when I watched the preview. Everyone's just like, oh, the new baby carrier, the guy in the big robot just in the baby carrier. I'm like, is it new? And they're like, and someone who's a Grey Knight player with us said like, yep, that's a new model. Like, not new model, but it's an upgrade to the old one. I'm like, oh, it looks exactly the same. Which is like probably the pivotal moment of Space Marine updates. It just looks the same because that's what you want it to look like, I guess.
Right. That's yep. You just summarized my feelings there on Space Marines. Very good.
Well, how about some different flavored Space Marines? Because after the hot off the hole, you can buy the Slanesh one. Now, here's some new updates for World Eaters, Death Guard, and 1,000 Suns with some interesting robots. I'm not the biggest fan of these robots for the 1,000 Suns, but I like the attempt. Something different. Be fun to see on the battlefield. Um, and I think this is probably the more interesting thing to me, even though I won't buy it. I'm not the target audience since I'm not a big major 40k player, but all 4 of the limited edition codexes, and if you buy them all, you get a big coin that connects together. That's kind of cool.
I mean, these are the good guys of the 40k universe here. Chaos. So
we're gonna have words. Not many, because I don't have that much dog in this fight. I usually play Eldari anymore.
Whatever kills Space Marines is fine with me. So,
but still, hey, I do like this. This feels like, hey, you have a cool theme with the different Chaos God factions. Give it something fun, because there's the people out there, like, if you're into Chaos, you're probably there's going to be the people that are all in, and it's going to be really great to see. So I'm a fan of these limited edition boxes. Even though I won't pick it up because I'm not playing these 40k factions, keep giving me these big ones. I will buy them for my factions for sure. Moving right along. I don't even know why we're looking at this one. The chapter approved mission deck. Yeah, hey, there's more cards coming.
There you go.
For 40k. I do like this. They're doing the mouse pad material objective markers, because we sell them at the US Open events, which is just fantastic. They are great. Most of the mats we play on anymore are those neoprene mats. These fit right on top. Nice that there's official ones. These ones are a little bit too busy in my mind. But I still like the attempt on these. What about you? What do you think about these ones?
I don't really have opinion on these, honestly.
That's fair.
I have never played any of this, so this is all lost on me.
That's fair. That's why we're getting these knocked out first, because we're just going to get to the good stuff. And we're almost there. Hold on. There's Kill Team. We're going to talk about Kill Team before we talk about Sigmar. We're knocking all the 40k stuff out. Hey, there's a new Kill Team coming. I don't know, Tyranids and some humans. Some terrain. If you ever played StarCraft, that's just StarCraft. I'm sorry. Yeah, cool. 40k Kill Team.
and I hear the Tyranids burrow now.
They do. All right, let's talk a little. Let's talk about games we actually play regularly. Almost. Sigmar, Spearhead.
I don't play Spearhead. I've still not played Spearhead with intentions to play Spearhead, but I have still not done it. Here, if I could just kind of jump in on this first.
Yes.
With an issue that I have. So it seems like we are for Spearhead back in Shyish.
Yeah,
cool story, man. Never been there before. Don't have any idea what that looks like.
No.
Haven't played an entire edition in there. How about maybe one of these realms that we haven't actually been to yet, and it's been a decade?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Neil, the original Spearhead, we had Gyran and Akshi. It was dual-sided. We had 2 realms. What more do you want?
Yeah, I've been both those places too.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
I'm sorry. It's really starting to bother me. Like, where is Ulgu? It is a thing.
With the only parts we've seen of Ulgu, Uglu is
Oogaloogaloogoo.
Uglu. Uh, woo, woo, woo. Sorry, I've got old video games in my head. Um, is the small part that Marathi owns. That's the only part of the map we've
Yes,
seen. And it's like that's
yes, we
great
were
for
there. We
me
were
who
there
loves it, but
for a pretty intense spot too. So maybe we should see some more of that. That's all I'm saying.
and apparently that was the worst spot in the realm because that's what Malekith Malarian gave her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the worst spot, and is that happening? Oh boy. Like the rest is
Yeah.
just gonna be like just full on rave, just Daft Punk blasting everywhere. It's gonna be great. All right, but yes, we're getting new Spearhead box. So if you're a Spearhead player and you're getting kind of tired of the current missions and stuff, you got more stuff on the way. I do enjoy Spearhead. I have played it a handful of times. I played it almost as many times as I played Sigmar actually, but in this edition. But it's fun, quick little game. Um, the train, I kind of want that Neferata bust because it's cool, but that's about it. I'm not gonna buy the box just for that though.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, they're just talking more like, hey, we're releasing some new Spearhead boxes for the ones that aren't there. So like the Cities of Sigmar one, which what's interesting in here is I think is that a war cry or is that an Underworld's warband in there with the dogs? I think that might be war cry. And if we look at the Lizardmans, we definitely have Underworld's ones in there, especially brand new Underworld's ones,
Mm.
which is, I guess Underworld's is just dead. That's what I'm wondering because those three up in front, I picked up that box set to help fill in the voids that I had for a few characters and champion models in my Lizardman army.
Yeah.
So those are brand new Underworld's kits, and I believe the Chameleon Skinks right behind it are the most recent Warcry box.
Okay.
So is that writing on the wall for that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they're keeping the models around. They're good models.
Yeah, they're very good models. You can never say anything about like the Warcry and Underworld's models. They've always been exceptional.
Yeah, they've been great. Like, I have multiple copies of some of the Daughters of Cain ones because they're just so good. Let's see, Bone Reapers getting their own too. That just looks like standard kits, thankfully, so pretty simple there. And then Ogre Maw Tribes. I kind of like this one. I just like this as a starting force. It just sounds neat. Like if you
If you can't get enough Noblars here, you know, I got a buddy who's got 150 of them.
yeah,
So kind of cornered the market a long time ago.
you did.
Surprised there's any left to go around. So
Yeah, I don't know. There's a thing, and I've said it before. Something about like the ogres have always fascinated me. But I've never pulled the trigger on the army.
yeah.
So like I see,
You know what's funny is the ogres. Well, I think of the models as being huge. You know, with kind of scale creep, they're not that big anymore.
yeah, not fully. Not less, I mean, in old world they're back to being big because I'm playing my old tiny elves,
Right.
not my
I
6 foot
printed
elves.
printed a couple models at like plus 10%, right? And my buddy's like, he goes, this thing's almost the size of an ogre. Are you sure you want this? I'm like, yes, I am sure.
That's not my problem. That's your problem.
Yeah, that's right. That's the ogre's problem.
Yeah. Apparently, you can win a starter bundle. And then here, okay, so we have the next General's Handbook coming out. And it looks like a card pack once again, which is fine. I don't mind. I kind of hope they do a book too, but actually, let's actually read it. I've been burning through the 40K stuff because it doesn't matter that much to us.
Mhm.
All right, so while Spearhead's moving to Shyish, the battles of match play are shifting to Gairan. Okay, we're going to Gairan from Akshi now, Neil.
Have we ever fought battles in Gairan before?
Yeah, I think the first season of war was all in Gairan because we were setting up the
Yeah,
cities.
oh yes, we have. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were actually asking that question. Like, when did we do that?
I wasn't. Oh, I should. Maybe it's time for me to look up my acting career. I don't know.
No, listen. You're a little under the weather. It's fine. All right, anyway, Skyran, Seasons of Blossoms and Bloodshed in the Realm of Life. The General's Handbook 2025-2026 is the next essential update to Sigmar match play. For first time, it comes in a box that contains General's Handbook, Battle Plan cards, War Scroll cards, 4 manifestations, and associated spell lores, and 6 objective markers made from the flexible PET mousepad material.
Mm.
Okay, so they found a way to make General's Handbook a lot more expensive. Because this isn't going to be, $30, $40. This is probably going to be 70, I bet. I bet. Because these
boy.
mouse pad mats, so we sell them at the US Open, and they have custom ones. I actually have a set over there for Drukhari, and I have a set over there for my daughter's King, because I just did Sigmar ones. Those were $55 alone. And there wasn't much margin on those, so I have a feeling this is going to be like $70.
Oh yeah. Oh, with the mousepad stuff, probably at least.
That's my guess. That said, the art on it's fantastic. That says the Sigmar General looks good. I love them.
It is. It is, and the objective markers are pretty cool too. As far as the art goes.
Yeah, I actually do like it because they'll match. They look like places of power, So I like them. Let's see. All right, so 72-page softback book. Softback. So it's no longer in the current format of the grid. Interesting. Background of War Jade Realm, along with the core rules match play, featuring a update. Well, okay, to be fair, if they're doing a softback book, that might lower the cost a little bit. Because I know these binder ones are a lot more expensive, which is why they're very self-contained.
They are, yep.
So okay, maybe they're gonna keep it around 50. Let's hope. Battle Pack also contains new season rule, which means new battle tactics and 12 new battle plans. Good, love it. We'll have more details soon, but expect significant changes to battle tactics as the system shifts to a series of sequential goals that you select as part of your army composition. I am excited because this is different than the BS we're dealing with right now that I hate.
That sounds a lot better.
Sounds a lot better.
Ooh.
Yes, I know. See, I think people were sleeping on this. You saw Spearhead, and everyone's like checking out. Like, no, there's some good stuff we're getting, but it's not necessarily something we're not expecting. So,
right now, I'm kind of interested. Now you've piqued my interest a little bit.
Yeah. So I'll play one event with the current season of War, then I probably won't play until this comes out for Sigmar.
Right.
That's not all, because it gets a little more exciting. Scourge of Gyran, which is the name of the whole thing, is almost upon us. In the weeks leading up to the new General's Handbook, every faction will receive free content from new enhancement choices to entire battle formations, quote-unquote flavor, as I would like to call it probably, which will be legal for match play as soon as the book lands. They'll be available for download for free on Warhammer Community and on the AOS app. So, and you can expect daily short stories accompanying each faction drop. Exciting times ahead. So we're getting a little bit of narrative fun and a little bit of flavor added to all the armies.
Interesting. That's got my interest. I'd like to see what happens there, because a lot of my, a lot of my criticisms of AOS and the things that I don't like about it is the game being on rails. And I mean, if you listen to this podcast at all, you know how much I hate battle tactics.
Yep.
So we'll see whether that's. Yep. So current and old battle tactics, all the battle tactics.
That's true.
However, whatever may be new, I'll wait and see. I'll give them a chance. So and then new battle formations. Okay. All right.
You give me a little Crave thing back. You give me a little something I can add a little flavor to my army. Get a little extra rule for something fun, something to spark
something
interest.
To help me list build a little bit. I mean, that'd be. I don't know.
There could be complete upheaval of how we list build too. It's a new season. There's no reason why they wouldn't do that if they chose to do so. I hope they do, because current list building's awful. But we have a new lever they're putting into list building, so that might make it interesting.
Yep.
Let's see. And of course, here's a little article of Soulblight, Spearhead, General's Handbook. That's what's now. Now is in what we can expect to release immediately next at some point. Although the General's Handbook, that won't be till July, I would assume, as usual, unless they're shifting timing, which they could be. And,
Right.
maybe they're finally taking that lump would hurt, I guess, on their financials, but like I think overall it'll be healthier for them. After that, we get Ideneth, Blades of Corn, KO, Night Haunt, and in the future, I guess Flesh Eater Courts. That's my guess of that on the horizon image.
There we go. So
Um,
the two things that I'm most concerned about right there: Blades of Corn, Karajan Overlords. As you can see, I do have a Ideneth Deepkin army. However, that is my daughter's, and it doesn't really get touched very often.
yeah. And when she does, well, we have some Russian friends to help her with the rules.
Right.
Yeah, so more importantly, I'm excited for what they're going to do on these. Like, I can't say I can't believe I'm saying I'm excited for the next General's Handbook. Because I want to see what all these changes are and see if it really rehooks me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Spearhead out of the way. And I know you think we talk about Grand Cathay next. We're going to save that for last. We're going to talk about the Wood Elves and the Beastmen Brayherds up next. So, Neil, are you excited to see these returning?
I am. Like, I love the Wood Elf line. Really. I mean,
Yeah.
People are like, oh, these are old models and everything, and I joked about it earlier as well. However, I mean, they're actually pretty recent as far as things go for Old World.
Yeah, they're was the Rangers and the guys with the two-handed axes and spearmen, which is a dual kit.
Yeah,
we're
Mhm.
end times fresh. I feel as was their cavalry, like their
The guy with the big sword, the great weapon.
oh, he's
the
classic.
hero.
He's classic.
Yeah, I've painted one of him before. It is an amazing model. I am a huge fan of that thing.
I much like the Sisters of Avalon, I have him in my army for Wood Elves,
Yeah.
and he's fine cast, and I would love to get a metal version and paint it
Mhm.
again.
I mean, personally, I don't like him next to some war dancers, some very old war dancers, and you're kind of like, poof, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah. The old war
Yeah,
dancers are a little
but
rough,
there's
but
we know that's going to happen with Old World right now.
some old, some new, some and old. Yeah, it's
Yeah. And honestly, like I know people talk down on the Beastman models, right? But like they've been around forever and this and that and whatever. But like some of them are pretty good.
yeah.
I don't have a problem with them
They're kind of like
at all.
Skaven.
I mean, the only thing is like maybe the Minotaurs need a refresh, right? Because their
Sure, I guess.
anatomy is just off.
Yeah, but they're chaos beasts. I know they're supposed to be men that turned, but
Right.
to me, the Gores are the worst ones because they're just so unchanged that they don't look like anything other than malnourished humans with some
Right.
slight growths.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. These are two gorgeous lines. I think we're getting some cool stuff back for the the Wood Elves. I'm kind of sad. I was hoping that they would get, and maybe they still will. I was hoping they would get the twin sisters on the dragon.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have it, but it's a cool kit, and I think a lot of people are hoping that came back, and sadly,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
I do like that dragon that they have there, though. That is a classic. It's a classic S dragon, but
Yep.
it's a really nice one though too. So
What's interesting is I have to look because I have that box. I know I do have. Okay, that's the exact one. Yeah, I thought they were using the head from the dual kit, but they're not. But yeah, I just got that guy not too long ago and painted him up. He's cool, but
yeah, all their cavalry is really awesome for the Wood Elves. I don't know how much you'll see it.
I think you'll
Seems like
see
not.
it. I think they're probably still pretty solid.
Uh,
All right, let's
Love.
look in. Beastmen Brayherds and Battalion in Arcane Journals. So huge horde of 30 Ungors. Or Ungors, that's the terrible one, not Gors. Ungors are they're the ones I don't
Right.
like the most.
right. Yeah.
30 Savage Gors plus a Towering Cygor or Gorgon. And 204 transfers. Like where do transfers go on Beastmen? Other than the like 3 flags.
Right.
I'm
And maybe you can put them on the Beastmen themselves.
maybe like
actually,
tattoos.
Right.
That'd be pretty sick.
Uh-huh.
I like that. What do you think about this as a battalion?
It's a lot of infantry.
Yeah.
It's a lot of infantry. So right now, I don't know. I think it's a good start to a cool looking army.
I,
If
I
I'm starting one from scratch, then sure, why not? But like, probably not a whole lot of what I want.
I kind of
I've not
wish.
played Beastmen before, but from what I understand, you want Minotaurs and you want Dragon Ogres, and I don't see
Yeah,
any of that here.
I think if you dropped at least 10 of those Ungors and you got Minotaurs, it would be more enticing for as a kit or as
Right.
a starter to an army.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. This one's a little, it's okay. Let's see. Give yourself up to the Cloven Ones with the Arcane Journal Beastman, 48 pages. It contains background on the culture of the Brayherds, which that's kind of interesting to learn about,
Hmm.
including their language, as well as rules for two armies of infamy, the Primal Wild Herds and the all-devouring Minotaur Blood Herds. Well, there's going to be a Minotaur army, it looks like. That's going to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt on the table.
Uh-huh.
Um,
You
oh,
just bring enough fanatics to deal with them, and you're fine. So
that's true. That's true.
I
Uh,
put three through a unit of that of Johnny's twice. They went through, and then the next time they moved back through him again, and that was the end of the 4 Minotaurs he had.
oh well, hey,
So
okay. Once I can figure out how to get those in my high elves, I'll be good to go.
yeah,
Let's see. Rules for special characters, magic items, units, special or new units. Lore of primal magic. That's cool.
hmm
It'd be accompanied by dice set and reference card pack. So I'll continue to buy the book and the cards every single time. And boy, howdy, is that not a cool cover?
yeah,
I love it. It actually makes the Ungors look cool, even.
yeah. It tries anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Man, they crush it with these Arcane Journal covers.
Like
Instead of just
I love Beastmen. Like I want to. Like I know John will play him. Like I wish more people did play him so that I could kill him.
yeah, yeah.
you know?
Well, we have a
But
we have a local player, Ben. He plays them. He played him in Sigmar. Clearly he's. I'm gonna try and convince him, square base him. They're in
yeah,
rounds and he has converter trace, so he's good to go. But he's like, maybe I'll use him as proxy, slaves of darkness. I'm like, with this release, I bet we'll get him fully on squares.
yeah, yeah. You gotta do it
Yeah, I gotta go all in.
because they're out of Sigmar now anyway. So there's no reason not to rebase.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Endless hordes are supplemented by a large number of returning kits. So some returning plastics, just some heroes, shamans and chieftains. Very cool. Of course, we got the Ungors. We got the Gors. Got the Savage Gors. Got the Minotaurs. Got the Cygor and whatever the other one's called. Gorgon. Um, then returning resin, which I didn't know this was. This is no. This is the new sculpt. It's technically not returning, right? We've already seen the Blind Prophet Cromwell, one of the prime movers behind the Resurgent Beastmen. There are plenty of other. Oh, okay. So yeah, they just grouped it in. So new kits with the Blind Shaman, the Minotaur Hero, which I've seen this in plenty of games of Sigmar and Old World.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this doesn't feel like a GW kit. I think because the kits that like for D&D and stuff, like was it WizKids and stuff, do Minotaurs so well anymore that
Uh-huh.
these feel like that more. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it per
No, no,
se.
no.
It's just
Nothing about it
yeah,
screams fantasy for me anymore.
yeah,
Like Warhammer fantasy, I should say.
yeah. He needs a refresh for sure.
And then this lovely thing. What is this thing?
I have no idea what that is.
Doom Bowls, which Doom Bowl. That's what monitors. Stomping alongside is the Twisted Cockatrice.
Oh,
That's the
I've
Cockatrice.
never seen this model before.
I've never. I mean, did it exist? Was it a Forge World thing we never saw?
There were I remember super old cockatrices, but it must be Forge World if it's resin.
Yeah. Then the Jabberslythe, seen that thing plenty of times.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
here's
then
the cockatrice. Is next.
there's Cockatrice. Well, what's that? What's the other thing?
I have no idea.
Here's a Cockatrice. Yeah, I've seen that. Okay, so what's this? Let's read. Let's keep reading.
Hideous Praeton.
Once great stags of the forest corrupted by foul magics of the Bray shamans. They've been sensitively remastered for the new era by the miniatures team. Sensitively? What, did they have like a giant like penis on it or something? What? I'm confused what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Was there some phallicness? Was there just like a pair of balls off the
Maybe they have been taken great care of. Let's go with that.
Let's go great care. Okay. They're released in gorgeous Forge World resin rather than fine cast. Okay, so they were fine cast. That's probably why we never saw them, because no one's gonna buy that in fine cast. That thing would break in a second. I'm still a little dubious. Those horns, I'm glad I'm not having to build that kit.
Right.
Um,
I've built a couple of these jabber slides, baby, and let me tell you.
yeah. I like the cockatrice. I like that a lot. It's gonna be fun to see that on the table again.
Yep.
All right, returning medals for the Beastmen. Just the old heroes, BSB.
I love the two on the right. The one on the very bottom, the one on the right. I love those two.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Those are solid.
especially the guy with the axe behind, like way behind there. You know, that's a fun guy to go slay, right? You know,
it is. Let's go off the kill. I like the Senegors. I just think they're neat. I was hoping, it'd be cool to see like a unit of them, and these guys are going to be tiny compared to other horses. But
yeah.
Oh, what else we got? Got the chariot, and then whatever that whatever the thing is, Razor Gore. Boy, Mother, I don't think even Mother can love that face.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, actually, I'm just trying to think. I remember playing Ben. Funniest, probably the best we've ever seen a Beastman chariot do. He charged in and did like a couple, like D3 and damage, mortal wounds, and I think it was like second edition. Wouldn't you believe it? He did the one wound, and Marathi failed her save.
Oh, there it is.
End of the last turn of the game, long bomb charge of a chariot killed Marathi. It was hilarious.
Popped her.
Mm-hmm. All right. Third Brayherds are pressing concern. The Wood Elves are going to be here. So their battalion box, which I'm different on. I like this one a lot. 62 miniatures, 32 Glade Guard, which are the archers, which you want. If there is a useful infantry model, it's archers, especially these ones. Especially if I think in the rumors they said maybe some skirmishing of these, but they have these Azrai longbows. They're a solid core. You can do 20 Wildwood Rangers, or you could do 20. What's the spearman called?
Glade Guard, maybe?
Glade Guard, yes. Thank you. So you can do 10 and 10, or 20 and 20, or 5 and 15, whatever you want. And then you have the core, the cavalry option. So do you want to do the Wild Riders, or do you want to do the Sisters of the Glade? Or you can do 5 and 5, which I don't know which one's better, but to me, this is the most versatile and useful for the army battalion I think we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe dwarfs, but that's an if. This one, I think because in here you have so much core, you have rare, you have special, whatever you need, and only 186 transfers, so more spaces to put transfers, but they get less.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts? I know you're not a Wood Elf player, but you're an Elf fan, so
yeah, a lot of good stuff coming back. Like to see it all. So it's all the things that I'd expect to come back, because they were very recently in Sigmar. There's no reason for them to not be back, really.
Exactly. Let's see. Stalwart Defenders around. They'll get their book. Background on the Everwood, which I think that was in the rumor section that we heard on Reddit a while ago. That was true. Capricious Inhabitants, 48 books, contains rules for Orion. Rules and background for Orion, the King of the Woods, and Arloth, the Lord of Taslan, which he was the character added in the 8th edition book, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
Was that him? Or no, am I mixing this up? Anyway, I could be getting that wrong, everybody. I forget. As well as Armies of Infamy for both. So there's going to be one around Arloth and one around Orion. So the Orion one will be interesting because he could be more cavalry focused, potentially. Or at least more skirmish focused. I'm curious. Anyway, usual roster of unit profiles, spells, lore of the wilds, magic items, and rules for Wood Elf kindreds. New upgrades for your Wood Elf characters to provide additional benefits. Notice this one doesn't say units. Like no like, because the Beastman, like like I wonder if we're gonna get like a kit bashed unit, like we had like we have in every other book, like the Tracy and Hunters, where it's a sort of a kit bash you can do. What else might not get that? That'd be interesting. Thoughts? You're thinking. You're thinking.
I skipped ahead a little bit.
Okay, all right.
So I'm gonna leave you with your own thoughts there because I have some thoughts later on that I want to share.
Okay. Well, anyway, like I said, I'm a fan. I'm excited for these to come back once again. This cover, holy crap! Like, I don't want to say I like it better than the High Elf cover, but it's making me think. This is
It's really good.
It's a really good
really
cover.
Good.
Did you have a thought there? Like, where's your thought at? How far should I keep going?
Well, my thought is there is exactly. I'll
right.
parrot you there. I mean, it looks amazing. So, I don't really care whether it's better than one or the other. It just is what it is. It looks amazing. So, and it looks, dare I say, maybe a little bit less cartoony than the High Elves.
I think
the style of the art.
I think it's because the
more gritty.
Yeah, I mean the things in here too. Like even though they're humanoid, they're not like they're elves, but they're very different. Like I think you and I have an image of high elves. If you stray too far from that, we'll call it out. Maybe someone else has that same feeling with his wood elf stuff.
Yeah.
But just the fact that you can see almost the entire freaking army, like like don't just put a Stormcast on the cover. Give me an army. Yeah, I love this cover. Of course, I think we'll probably we'll get dice, we'll get cards, I'm sure, all that sort of fun stuff. Okay, so no, that is Arloth. So Arloth, that's the guy that was added in 8th edition. So we'll get him back in plastic. Obviously, just pretty much all the units you want, everything you want. It's all there, including the mounted archers. Boom, army back in full. Turning metals was the interesting one. So once again, my Orion is in fine cast. But I don't know if I'm going to worry about it because with how much I play him, I'm not going to worry about getting the metal. But we can get our Lord back with that great sword. I don't have those other two, so if that's a 3-pack, I might pick that up for a little side project. I do like the lady in the bottom right with the horns.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just cool. The stag, I have that stag. He is glorious. I hope those two come separately because I don't want to have to get another stag. Just get that horse guy. And then your eagle that you love so much, but it's the actual wood elf version because he has the wood elf helmet on the one side like the Glade Guard do.
Mm-hmm.
This could have just been the same eagle with a guy standing on top of it.
I've never been a huge fan of guy stands on top of flying bird.
Elves are the only ones that can get away with it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. I like a saddle. Just do.
Or even just if he was holding on to a leash while standing, like he's anchoring himself with a third point of contact.
I don't know, something. Because that dude does a barrel roll.
Oh yeah. I always think back, even still, during I think it was the Sundering book. So it's the Dark Elves that are escaping, get captured by the Tomb Kings, and eventually teach Nagash like dark magic. There's a scene where they steal, like the sorceress, she steals and corrupts it like a dragon. And she's being chased by a high elf sorceress on dragon. And there's a moment where the dragons are entangled and fighting, and like they're kind of like tumbling through the sky. And it's from the dark elf's sorceress' perspective. And she's clinging on for dear life, like, dear God, how do we do this? And she looks over at the high elf mage, who's literally standing in the saddle, casting a spell at her. And she's like, what the hell? So, like I said, I don't mind it, but I understand your point too. Like it's cool when it happens, but yeah. Anyway, and then we get this old returning vessel, the old Drycha. There's the old eagle. I have one of those.
Yeah, is that an eagle or is that a warhawk?
Oh, I guess it's a Warhawk. Yeah, it would be smaller. So yeah, it's Warhawks, but like that's reminiscent. Like slightly bigger was the old Eagles too.
Mm.
Um, little guy. So actually, I have these. I don't have that guy as a sorcerer. I have him as just like a dude holding a sword and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Let's come a little bit lower now.
what's that?
Let's come a little bit lower.
I did. Do you like branches?
Dude, let me talk about something for a second, okay? I do like nostalgia for old models. I really do.
Yeah,
I
you and I
know
have it
this
hard.
treatment.
You have
I
it
know
hard.
this treatment. I have seen this treatment from times yore. I know the old treatment that's standing like this with the arms spread out. All right, that was my original treatment. You know, when I was a kid.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Stop it, stop it, stop it with this whole schism thing. It is so unbelievably dumb.
Yeah, you want
We
to.
are going to buy the models for the game that we want to buy that look cool. Okay.
You
When
know.
there is a tree man
Yep.
who is out there who looks 1,000 times better than this for AOS, I'm going to buy him. Not only that, when we start talking about the Cathay release here in a second, I've heard I don't know how many people talking about how they're going to steal those models for their cities' armies.
Yep.
Okay. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We're
Literally
going to
nobody
use the
cares.
models we want to use.
It's
I,
get over yourself and you'll make more money.
and you can, whether you put that money into your AOS account or your fantasy account, it really doesn't matter. You're just tricking yourself.
Yeah.
It's not real. You know, we're buying the things that we want to buy. Period.
Yeah,
You know, for the systems we want, and I can easily put it on a square base or I can put it on a circle base without any problem. Right?
Yep.
And it's so annoying to me when they do this. You have a cooler model. You have a cooler model in plastic. Just no.
Yeah.
I'm done. Ran over.
No, you're fine. My Wood Elf army, I have one of each of the Tree Lords. So Dirthu, Tree Lord Ancient, Tree Lord. And my Tree Men are Kurnothi. Or not Kurnothi, Kurnoth. The Sylvaneth models.
Mm-hmm.
I just gave them size and I moved on with my day because they look so much better.
Yeah.
And also, an interesting thing that we don't see here. Let me just keep reading. Deepest Sticks, Old World Elves Company Beasts who have been hidden in forests for long. Oh, okay. So the Beast Pack is a set of 12 miniatures first released in 1987 who have been lurking in the deep thickets of the Old World. These are 4 elves and their accompanying beasts who have been hidden in the forest so long that they escaped photography for now. So, what is the... I'm going to look it up. Wood Elf Beast Pack. What does a Wood Elf Beast Pack, not Beat Pack, Beast Pack... Or can I find an image of these anywhere? Oh, maybe Beast Masters? Maybe. Let me see. Open image. So let me put this up here. So maybe something like this I have on screen. It's just an elf with looks like some brass knuckles and like some cats and stuff nearby.
Silly.
So yeah, sure. That's fine. That'll be fun. So that's something that you haven't had in a while and we'll get rules for it. I didn't see any mention anywhere of dryads.
There's not anything. They're leaning, from what I understand,
Yeah.
there's a heavy lean into the elves. Because again, you know why there's not dryads? Because dryads are in AOS.
Yep. Which is stupid. Because
So dumb. And you know what? Those same models that are now in AOS were in fantasy.
Yeah. So
it's just ridiculous.
It's almost
just
as if
ridiculous.
it's just mirroring the whole thing. Whenever Sigmar came out and we're going over and people are like, I hate it, I don't want to talk to this, I don't want to play this stupid game. And like, GW, you're just doing it to yourself. You're just playing that same thing to yourself. So, but hey, we're gonna do it anyway.
You know, I'm just gonna You can enjoy your Age of Sigmar bump when I buy my dryads. You know, like I don't.
Yeah,
it's for fantasy.
That's fine.
You know,
that's fine. But anyway, here's the brand new thing that we're super excited for. I'm thrilled. I am thrilled to death. I am so excited for this army. Like, not High Elf excited, not Daughters of Cain excited, but just a hair behind that. Just a hair behind that, because it's a new army, Grand Cathay. Man, Neil, just Tell me how much you love this.
It's exceptional. It's exceptional. And you know, where I thought Ishaves was a little bit too AOS-y for my
Right.
taste. That's, and by the way, that's not saying anything too bad about it. I love AOS. I love AOS models.
It's just
I
saying
just
it
felt like
clashes
in the
with
army, for
yeah.
what I normally see, she didn't jive for me with the army.
Yeah, like the
However,
Tracy and Hunter jived with it, whereas
right,
she's a little bit outside of what we're used to in the theme of it,
right.
which is fine.
hmm So, and it is fine. They tried something different, and I think a lot of people love it.
I love it.
I'm just not one of those. And
Yep.
that's fine.
Yep.
This is exceptional. I have no like they look newer. I have no problem with the newer type of, I don't know, flair they put to them. You know, like where it's a little bit. You know, some people might say, "Oh, these models are a little bit more AOS like." I mean, sure, you know, but they work for fantasy, and they look great as like new fantasy models, right?
Yeah,
Is
that's what they feel like, because they're blurring that transition period between classic fantasy and I guess Sigmar, in a way of just the level of quality and design
yeah,
elements, because it's more modern. So
uh-huh,
it feels like what it is, which is a new fantasy / old world army.
right. Yeah, I'm through the moon with it. I think it's kind of funny. Some of these war machines will get there, but they have rules that a lot of the Chaos Dwarf war
Yeah,
machines
yeah,
have. Even though you know those don't exist, don't play them. Don't play
they
those
don't
legacy
exist. Stop it.
factions. Um, you know, it's just like, oh, okay, well, we need some rules for these things. Oh, we got Chaos Dwarves; they're not really a thing, so we'll just
Just copy and
just
paste
steal
over
the
here.
rules. Oh, so this thing makes you -1 movement as well. Like, okay, all right.
Sure, yeah.
So,
All right. Like every other faction in the old world, Grand Cathay receives a battalion box. First of all, I think this is a mistake. I feel this army would have been better suited if they would have done like the release boxes. Since it's a brand new army,
mhm.
even if it was without the core rulebook. But this box bundled with the Arcane Journal, the cards, and all this, make it really expensive, would have sold well, I feel.
Mm.
Um, just for new players, because like this army is going to draw the Total War crowd, folks, a lot, because this was a Total
Oh
War
yeah.
army. Um, yeah, like, all right. So anyway, 50 plastic miniatures, which is great. These are plastic. That's wonderful. 30 Jade Warriors can be deployed as 2 units of 15 or 3 units of 10. It looks like they have some weapon options there, some pole arms, some swords and shields. So that's exciting. They're supported by 10 Jade Lancers, which can be split into 2 units of 5 with full commands. Then 2 artillery pieces, which can be built as either Cathayan Grand Cannon or Fire Rain Rocket Battery with crew. I'm going to buy this box.
What I will say is, for those of you who have gotten very used to um, battalion boxes that are perhaps priced a little bit lower, being old world and having older models in it, you are going to be paying full AOS prices for this.
Yeah, that
And
is
not a penny less.
an
So
excellent
just
point.
be ready for the price tag when you and you should buy into it, because it looks amazing, and I can't wait to see people with these armies painted up and on the battlefield. But you are going to pay for it.
Yeah, what, 250 at most? I think maybe 220 if we get lucky.
I think you're looking at 250, buddy. At least.
I'd say, oh yeah,
At
I
least.
wouldn't. 250 wouldn't blink at as what they could put it
I
at.
would
Which
actually expect 300, but that's just what I expect.
that would be that'd be rough. But yeah. Anyway, we'll carry on. Well, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And if I'm able to buy it with my financial means at the time, I'm going to buy it because I'm excited for this army, because I've always liked the whole. I've loved the aesthetic of the Chinese culture. Like I took Chinese in college and all that. I think I mentioned that talking to Alex earlier. So I really want this army. The theme is all good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So Jade Warriors, so you're going to get these separately as well. Core of the Standing Army, equipped with fine weapons and armor. They are named for the stone, sacred to the Dragon Emperor, which is Jade, represent the implacable nature of his empire. Wielding hand weapons, shields, or halberds with elegant crescent blades, movable wall in which the enemy's celestial dragon break. So I'm curious too, because are these going to be the boxes? So is this going to be a box of 30 of them? Can you imagine if this came out and they gave us and they kept everything at the old prices, Neil? Can you imagine that?
Not a chance. But you can keep imagining.
I know. Well, can you imagine how mad every other game system would be?
Oh yeah,
All
yeah. It's not gonna happen.
right, Jade Lancers. These horses look so good, so good. Exceptional warriors recruited from the ranks of the Jade Warriors. These swift, heavy cavalry are trained to fight with narrow alleyways, bridges, and tunnels of their home kingdoms. Thus, they are terrifying when let loose in the open field with their long Cathayan lances. I'm curious what their special rules might be. Like, what makes cavalry with a lance feels like a cavalry with a lance, but there's always something that adds a little bit different. Like, I look forward to seeing the reveals of the rules of this army, I guess. Like, what makes this a different human army, than an empire?
Mm.
All right, Cathayan Grand Cannon, which let's just take a look at this crew here. Like, how cool is this? You got an ogre, and just the guy just pulling the rocks. It's very thematic. I love that this apparently this army is more cosmopolitan than the Cities of Sigmar army in Age of Sigmar, because there's at least a mixed species on a unit.
Right.
All right, Forges of Nangua are constantly at work, and the Cathayan Grand Cannons are some of their finest work. Crafted to look like roaring dragons, they belch flaming cannonballs straight and true into enemy ranks. And then the Fire Rain Rocket Battery, which once again, this crew, holy crap, if you're able to smoke a pipe while handling rockets,
Right.
God bless you, sir. Fire Rain Rocket Battery is less accurate than the cannon launching a hail of deadly explosives that sow ruin. So obviously this probably won't need direct line of sight. It'll be like the Hellstorm Rocket Battery of some sort. But that's not all. What else did Cathay Army have in their arsenal? Neil, do you know what they have in their arsenal?
What do they have?
Shugengan, Lord of the Great Spirit Longma, which feels like they're trying to trick me into saying Ligma.
Yeah, he's cool.
He is super
It's like a
cool.
little dragon Pegasus,
Yeah, it's I this fits perfectly in this could be like a dark elf mount. Like I was like, oh, I'm surprised this wasn't like leaked out. Someone's like, hey guys, we know what the new Malekith army is going to look like.
Yeah.
Because like I could believe someone saying that, 'cause that could look like a dark elf character and such. And
I see this, and what I've always wanted for high elves, and I know it's asking too much, and I know it doesn't fit with the lore, but I've always wanted like drakes, right? Like a drake, like dragon princes on like smaller versions of dragons. I guess like a monstrous cavalry.
That's why we have eagles. That's why we have griffins.
I know, it's not going to happen, but
Yep.
too bad.
All right, so over the years, Celestial Dragon and his children have sired a great many descendants. These are the Shugengan lords. I'm probably butchering that. Mortals touched with just a little of their sire's power. Warrior generals who proudly lead from the front. Masters of martial arts. And the elemental winds of magic. So we have a warrior mage is what this is looking like. They sometimes ride on the Great Spirit Longma, majestic creatures with savage iron tails and a crown of horns. So I'm kind of curious what their rules are going to be, because this makes them sound like they're mage warriors, warrior mages, whatever you want to call it. But what is that? Is that level 2 with battle magic?
Oh, they said, I think during the stream they said it could be level 2 to 4, or it could be level 1 to 4.
Oh, really? Okay, I missed that.
Yeah,
that's...
I think you're going to see them wearing armor.
Okay, so armored mages essentially.
Right.
Cool. I mean, the rules are made to be broken in interesting ways in army-specific things. That's a cool way to do it. Also, I'm sure this thing's going to be pretty pricey, so you're not going to have 4 of them on the table. I'd assume 1, maybe 2 at most. All right, and then we have the Gate Masters of the Celestial Cities. Love the theme. Jade Warrior Garrison commanded by Gate Masters of Celestial Cities. Veterans who have served, blah, blah, blah. BSB Mounted General.
Yeah.
And great. And there's clearly going to be transfers, because I can't freehand that.
Nope.
Yep. Then we see this magic boy. The Sky Lantern. Okay. Ugh. I know no one can see us. I'm took my glasses off and rubbing my eyes because if you asked me to look at everything in old Total War and say, Chuck, what do you think is coming over from this army? Wouldn't have even thought about this.
I would have, but I wouldn't have thought it was going to come out exactly like it.
Yeah. I would have assumed this is like, no, that's. Could they do it in plastic? Yes, obviously, and we know for sure they can. But I was like, they won't. That's too bold. That's too bold, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I am so happy I was wrong.
You couldn't do this in anything but plastic. It's too damn big.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to take this thing to an event ever.
You'll figure it out. You just put it in a different box.
That's true.
Now, if you're going to fly with it, that's a different story.
If I'm going to fly with it, I'm going to get two and actually fill them with helium and just float over to wherever I'm going.
They're incredible.
It's absolutely stunning. Someone said it perfectly that they need to make another one of these where you can actually use it as a real lantern so we can light our gaming rooms with them.
Right.
So think about your KO covering your ceiling. Just it's these now, and they actually are lights.
Right.
But, oh my god, few of the Celestial Dragon forces are as ingenious as the Sky Lanterns, dirigibles held aloft by fabulously decorated paper that sits above a caged vermilion warbird and steered by a crew of riding of armor and gondola. So, you want... How much you want to bet this is more powerful than all the KO ships?
Probably so.
I think I heard somewhere, I think they said on the stream that it's a rare chariot choice. Because you can put a hero on. I mean, look at these people. Look at this little lady here just lighting bombs, throwing them off the edge, having a great time. This guy's just pot-shotting things left and right. Like, these guys are having a blast up there. They're just up in a balloon drinking, and someone's hey, I found the weapons. Like,
yeah, that one guy's going to be smoking your champions out of your units left and right.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to hate that guy.
Yeah.
And that little bastard. He knows what he's doing.
Especially that shit-eating grin he's got on his face.
Yeah. you're like, oh, that Ring of Fury that's on that champion that makes him cost, 50 points. Bang! Done.
50 points in my bank. Got it.
Yeah.
Some bombs on the back here. Look at that. All right. From his lofty vantage point, Magistrate observes the battle using flags and banners to signal enemy movements to generals below and provide artillery with instructions to fire without line of sight. When foes venture too close, pairs of crane gunners snipe at them while the crew drops incendiary bombs. So, I don't know if the Magistrate is the general, possibly. But this is a support artillery boosting I don't know. This is like pulling so many different levers for me in like the game system, and it's making me fall in love with it more. Like yeah. It's a big awesome balloon, and I think the good thing is here, I'm glad it's a rare choice, and I'm going to use it specifically more as a character mount, because having two of these would feel I don't know. I'm glad I just want one in the army, just for the look and the silhouette of the army. I don't want two. But oh man, I just love this. I could. Is it my favorite model? No. Is it my second favorite model? Yes. Here's my third favorite model, the Cathay Sentinels. I was also like, I expected these, but to be exactly and to be massive as they are.
Yeah. Looks like it's on like the Ragnarok base.
I think so. It's a big old base.
Jesus.
Born in the Dragon's
Makes me more and more glad by the minute I printed some of those models the size I did.
Yes. I think Warhammer Weekly called it perfectly, though, that you're going to see Gargant armies of these in AOS.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if I have two in my army for this, I might just buy two more and be like, cool, now I have a Gargant army.
And you're looking at a cool $170 to $200 for each one of these, too.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, and the thing is, let's read it. We'll figure it out. Born of Dragon's mastery of elemental winds, Cathay Sentinels are towering statues fashioned to look like great warriors. Travelers in Grand Cathay may notice them inert, dotted around cities, standing guard over bridges. Legend tells that they are remnants of a once vast army created by the Dragon Emperor in distant past when chaos threatened Grand Cathay before. They're constructed from different materials, which we have terracotta and jade and even more volatile warpstone, with each material affording different properties. They are silent observers, blah, blah, blah. The thing that I remember them say is like one, I think it's extra tough. One, I think the warp stone makes the unit it's touching -1 toughness, which is just phenomenal. Yeah. So I'm real curious to see what these do, because holy crap, like it's gonna be hard not to want 2 in my army. But
Watch these, by the way. Have like the most straightforward, playable rules, right? And we've still got giants fumbling around here where you have to roll on a chart to see whatever attack they get instead of being able to pick whatever the attack they want.
yeah,
Like
this thing's gonna
it's
walk
so
in and just kill.
frustrating. Like you know these are gonna have good rules, and poor giant players are just stuck with these cool models that they can do nothing with. You know, like oh, God.
You're right. You're right. Oh man, you just nailed that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Be
Yeah.
ready for it, orcs and goblins players and chaos players. It's coming.
Yeah. What happens when the thing dies? You just remove it. What?
Or it just falls on the enemy every single time. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
All right. Arcane Journal, Grand Cathay. 48 pages. They're good at that. They're nailing that 48 pages on this every time. Detailed picture of the Immortal Empire, which is good because I need to learn more about Grand Cathay. Inside, you also find rules for armies of Grand Cathay, including their unique special rules. So, and twin magical lores of Yin and Yang, which kind of is cool, plays into their theme for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's gonna be real interesting because everything that is in this army to be played is going to be in this book. So in that 48 pages, we're getting a full army, which is exciting because in future things where if they start bringing back other factions that might be in the quote-unquote legacy faction, we know that they can do it all probably within a book like this. Hopefully. And once again, that's a great cover.
Yeah.
All right. Now for my favorite model, Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon. This is a great set of models. They're exactly like what they are in Total War, I believe, to at least my imagination. What makes this my favorite for sure is in the trailer we saw the dragon first, and my brain went, man, I wish we had the human form too, or whatever it is. And yes, you have both. You gave me both. Thank you so much.
It's AOS Marathi, except it's old world Marathi, right? So it's the same feel, right?
Yeah.
That you get from both of those. Super different take, right? You know, 2 completely different models, but they're both stunning. You know.
Yes.
So more of this.
Yeah. Like I said, this absolutely nails it, and it's so thematic. And I wish I could paint better, Neil. I will ruin this model.
I hear you. I hear you.
I look forward to ruining it though. Anyway,
yeah.
No lesser personage than the supreme matriarch of Nangua has made the perilous journey to the old world. The eldest living daughter of the Dragon Emperor, the Castellan of the Great Bastion, of the northern province of Grand Cathay against chaos incursions, running whatever. Yeah, with a threat mounting, she finds herself at the head of the expedition into a strange land. A warrior and sorcerer of consummate power, the Storm Dragon assumes 2 forms in battle: a human crackling with arcane energy, and the noble dragon to strike terror into the black hearts of her foe. Perhaps now she'll be able to restore balance. And I think during the preview they said that it didn't say how often, so it might be like a once per game type thing. That at will she can change forms. Now, obviously, I imagine when she's in her dragon form, she's not casting spells as well as when she's in her human form.
Right.
Kind of like you said, like Marathi. One's going to be for magic, one's going to be for combat.
Now, what I'll be interested in is the base sizes. When you switch them in and out, right? You're basically giving yourself extra movement by doing so.
Technically, yes.
Rule-wise, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions to ask, and then, like, they'll probably not answer them fully, and we'll get FAQs, and we'll figure it out as we go, because it's old world, and we're all adults, and we're doing that. But my God, how good is it to just know we're getting a brand new freaking army?
Yeah.
Like, just, I can't tell you how excited I am.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
I have a stack of... This is where it gets... I have this. The biggest High Elf fanboy You know, Neil, other than yourself. And I have this sitting on my desk. Just a
Yeah.
plethora of high elves. And high elves on my I'm high elf heaven right now. And
Yeah.
GW is just like, hey, you want to be excited about something that's not high elves? I'm like, no. And they're like, well, too bad. Here you go. Here's Grand Cathay.
Yeah.
Get fucking
It
hyped,
is.
scrub. I'm like, oh.
It is exceptional, and it'll be hard, like for anybody who buys that, to play their other armies. I think for a long time because it's just new. It's new. You got to explore it.
Yeah, I think what is nice, because like lately, like you and I, we've been getting more into like being competitive with our high elves.
Mm-hmm.
A fresh army that I know nothing about means I can just have fun without the concern of like what's the best. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy what I want.
Yeah.
Like I said, budget assumes everything fits in the budget and all that. I'm just gonna buy what I want.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's good or bad. That the army is to look cool. That's the army I'm gonna buy to look cool.
Yeah.
It won't ever be like my high elves where it's gonna be this huge grand thing, but I'll have 2,400, maybe 3,000 points at most of it. I'm kind of curious what it's gonna look like because there's still there's peasant bowmen and spearmen, I think, in the Total War that we didn't see here. So I guess they don't need to have those per se. Why would the peasants be on this grand expedition? But then maybe one day they release them. So I don't know.
I tell you what, though, I am. This makes me super, super excited to see what comes for Kislev.
Yes, I was mentioning that Alex, because I was asking his thoughts on this, and exactly the biggest win of this Grand Cathay army coming out and seeing how exactly it is like Total War and showing off how great a job they can do means we know Kislev is going to be the next army they release as far as a new army. That's I think that's without question, and it's not a rumor, it's not anything, and it's
right.
Please do it. If you are excited for Grand Cathay, but you're like, man, I really want Kislev, just wait. You're going to get an amazing army.
And you know what else? The other thing that this makes me excited for is now GW has basically said we don't have an excuse for not bringing in the legacy armies because
Grand Cathay is pretty far away.
Couldn't be farther away.
Yep.
All right, like when Uthuan is the island, to the left. Okay, right, and there's no reason why you can't have Nagaron, which is probably equally far away, right?
Yeah. And they're enslaving enslaving
dark
stuff
elves,
all over the world.
Bring the lizardmen back. There's no reason. And if you're making warpstone statues, do you know who likes warpstone?
Oh, the Skaven. Well,
they do.
Turns
out they like that stuff.
Isn't it the Skaven?
Turns out they want to have it.
If I remember from the end times correctly, I think Skaven are the ones that overran Cathay in the end.
Is it?
I think so. I think it was Skaven that did it, not Orcs and Goblins. I think it was Grand Cathay, or Skaven that killed Grand Cathay.
Oh.
And maybe it was Nippon, but still, they were there because the rats were just unstoppable at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like, if the world wasn't ending anyway, the rats would have won, I think, in the end times, the way they were writing them for a while.
Yeah.
Neil, I gotta ask, how does this army grab you in any way, shape, or form? Like, does it intrigue you to play it? Do you have any? What's your favorite model? It doesn't seem to me like this is an army you're gonna go start. You see more in the Kislev Valley for sure.
I'm tempted. I just don't think it's in the budget.
Which that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if everything was equal and I had the money, I would start it. For sure.
Really? Okay.
Because it's awesome and it looks great, and I'd love to have it on a shelf. I'd love to pull it out every once in a while, but I can't wait to see what other people do with it, though. So
I'm looking.
I hope to see it on the battlefield opposite of me, and I hope to see many of them.
Well, you'll see mine for sure.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing people that turn them into Cities of Sigmar armies.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait till we finally see the reveal for Cities 2, because the rumor of no more Dark Elves, which means half of my Cities army is Wood Elf proxies for living cities. And like, my Wood Elf army just get bigger again. It's already happened once that way, maybe.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I can't wait for Grand Cathay. I say I can. I'm very excited for Grand Cathay, but give me the Wood Elves first. Give me the Beastmen first. Take your time. Find a slot where you're not just overloading us. Like, I kind of have liked the fact that right now, like we had the high elf release, and then the made to order stuff hasn't come out yet. I'm
Yeah.
glad that there's been a break. I'm like, perfect. It allows me to make sure I'm putting funds elsewhere where they rightfully belong, and not just buying Warhammer needlessly.
I think you're probably going to see. You probably just saw everything that's going to be sold through the fall.
You think so? Think that far out? I was guessing late summer.
Remember how long we waited for the dwarves once upon a time?
Yeah, that's true.
Uh-huh. And I think you've got to have the second go with the high elves at some point, the made to order stuff,
Well,
right?
actually, not even just
You're
made to
gonna get
order. The Phoenix stuff, the Sky
yeah.
Cutters, the stuff that they're gonna
There,
release regularly. Those aren't out yet.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's still yet to come for high elves,
Yep,
and we're in April essentially.
that's true. Yeah, quarter one's
Okay, and
done.
then we got wood elves, and then we got beastmen, and then we got Grand Cathay, and you know that they're going to make sure that that's out at a time where the sales numbers are going to be useful for a certain quarter, right?
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be November. Grand Cathay November. We're gonna call it.
let's call it.
All right, Grand
I
Cathay
can see that. I
November.
can absolutely see that. Yeah.
I could see that too, and which is fine because that gives me time to just be ready for it. Like,
Right. Right.
yeah, because it's man, it's gonna be so interesting because like I have these high elves to build, but there's nothing else I have to really paint other than the busts that you've printed out for me.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get the second wave of high elf stuff, but there's no sign of Daughters of Cain in my future either. Hmm.
Yeah.
I might have a nice little summer break from painting Warhammer and get all prepped up for Grand Cathay.
Let's paint more play.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Especially too if that General's Handbook comes out for Sigmar and fixes all the stuff that I don't like about Sigmar right now.
Right.
I'll be playing a lot more
Right.
Sigmar, so oh man,
It's all looking up.
everything's looking up daisies, and especially if you like Space Marines, you have so many daisies looking up right now.
Yeah.
But Neil, I've kept you probably half hour longer than your body wanted to. So
It's all
thank
good.
you for fighting through to let me just like, hey, listen, anybody out there that does Warhammer content, if you want me to come on and just talk Grand Cathay and how much I love it, just hit me up. I'm game. Neil will
I
come
would love
too.
to listen to it.
Neil will come too.
I'd
We'll
love
bring
to
him.
listen to it. Yeah.
And maybe if I get the urge, I might start exploring the lore of Grand Cathay myself, and I might do like videos of me exploring it. So like live, you can see like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna dive into the lore of that here soon. But anyway, Neil, any closing thoughts on the Adeptiocn reveal?
No, just super excited for Old World. I love what it means for Old World. It means that, we've got a brand new army that would not exist if Old World wasn't doing as well as it is.
Mm-hmm.
It just wouldn't exist. It wouldn't have come out. So it's awesome. I love to see it. Super exciting.
Yeah. Everybody out there, I said Sigmar's strong, 40k is strong, and Old World, you're proving that it's strong too. So, yeah, thank you for everyone out there that's loving the game as much as us and hanging on to this content. Let's keep enjoying it. Let's keep making it better. And I will say this too. Like I said, probably next week, Neil and I will talk more High Elves again. Then probably shortly after that, I think we're gonna take a look at the Val's Renegade pack together on stream. I've read through it. You've read through it. I'm a fan. But it'd be fun to kind of go a little deeper, get a little different thoughts on it because we have different armies that we know.
Yeah.
So future stuff. But for now, Neil's going to go rest. He's got a long flight home tomorrow from Grand Cathay back to Uthwan. Especially when he's got to put the whole house on the dragon.
Yeah. You got to get past all the ogres that don't exist to the Empire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all right, till next time, everybody, we will see you later.